Hey everybody, how you doing? Welcome to another day of fun. Until Daddy takes that darn T-bird away. We are here, Calgary, Alberta, where we had snow flurries yesterday, and it was laughable because they were flirting around a bit. They were flying about, and they would gather up a little here and there, and then the sun would break through the clouds, and it would just burn away all the little flurries. They will just go gone, erased from existence. Absolutely wonderful. And then we'd have some sunshine clouds, sunshine cloud. Then we'd have some squalls come through again. A little bit of snow would come down, and it would try to cling here and there. And then a little break in the clouds, and that sun would be so high up now that it just burns off. So even if we got down to 20 degrees and snow, as soon as the sun breaks out, it'll start melting off snow, even at 20 degrees Fahrenheit, which is below freezing, simply because the angle of the sun is now so high up, the power of the sun is now being felt. You go outside with a sunny day, you can feel the radiating heat hit you. So, yay! That's a little bit better. Here in Calgary today, I think we're going to hit 51, tomorrow 61, Tuesday 64. That is golf weather around here. That's where guys are polishing off their golf clubs and getting ready to go to the range. They're like demanding driving ranges open up around here. They want to get their golf swing back. So, yeah, 66, 68 degrees. You start wearing shorts and golf shirts and go golfing around here. Of course, you end up with winter greens. I don't know if you know what those are, but it'll be a green in front of the actual green that they'll just kind of buzz some dead grass down, put a flag in there. You can putt out there. You can't go on the green behind there. No, because frost is every night. You still have frost, and you don't want to have any footprints on that green because you'll kill the grass. So you have to give it time to let the air's temperatures warm up as we get away from overnight freezing. And that's a thing up here. For those Southerners, you Southerners down there, you have no idea what we're talking about. I get it though because I was even in Palm Desert this winter. Uh, we'd have a sunny morning in Palm Desert, and it would be in the 40s, and would be quickly ramping up to the mid 60s, mid 70s. But they wouldn't let golfers out until the frost melted away, and there was frost overnight occasionally in Palm Desert this past year, just the lightest bit of frost. But what the golf courses did, which was smart, is they put the sprinkler systems on, often like on a rotation basis all night long, and they would keep watering the golf course with just a little layer of water. And that's warm water. That's water that's in the 40s, 50s, with the air temperature cooler, but that would keep the soil from getting too cold from the air, and you wouldn't have root damage, and these precious blades of grass would stay green and keep on growing. And the sun would come up, burn it all off, and the golf course would just be exploding. And of course, every day you had to have the mowers out to keep mowing because grass grows all year round down south. Anyway, welcome to Bruce's rant about how nice golf can be. Thank you for joining me, and it's nice to have you here. We're watching a little bit of a negative opening at the moment. It was a bit positive in Europe, but it's negative here. Mixed now, I guess, in Europe. That's fair. We're up 31 points in London, which is a nothing burger, 0.43%. Backing off here a little bit. We're down a little in Germany, France. Other than that, there's not a lot going on. It's very slight changes. The interest rate situation, the 10-year Treasury was higher, a little lower. Now it's higher again. It's 2.229, 2.229. So that's higher than that 1.7 we saw a few weeks ago. The rate has gone up a quarter point last week. Expected to go up a quarter point either next month or the month after. There are 6 more Federal Reserve meetings for the year, and a minimum quarter point rise will come out of each one of those meetings. So by the end of the year, the federal funds rate, that's the interest rate charged by the Federal Reserve to banks with a bank charter, hello SoFi, will be a 1.75%. So that's what a bank will pay the Federal Reserve if they borrow money from the Fed um, on a short term basis. They turn around and then they lend money to you and me for more than 1.75, and that's how they make their money. It's simple, really. So if you're a banker, you go to the reserve to borrow against it, and then you lend the money out for more money. Now, how you lend the money out determines how much interest you can get from the individual going in for a loan, whether it's a mortgage, or it's a car loan, or it's a home improvement loan, or a line of credit on your house, or whether it's to fund your credit card division at 21.9%, 18.9%, whatever you can convince the customer to go spend at, borrow at. That's how this game is played. And the personal loans, of course, another. Student loans is yet another. And so I suspect that most of you out there, when you go and borrow money from your banker or any financial institution, whether you do it in person or online, which most of you now do is online, I don't know if any of you really get a 1.75% offer for money on an ongoing regular basis. You might in Canada have a mortgage at 1.99 from a year or so ago. Maybe some of you in Canada had, you know, 1.75 to 3% interest rates on your home equity line of credit. But I would bet you that if a lot of you out there went to your bank for a personal loan of 10 grand or something, and the banker said, "Well, what do you need it for?" "Oh, I want to get some appliances for the house, a couple of things for my apartment, my house, or my condo, and the rest I just want to kind of, have a little cash on hand. And got a credit card with like a $2,000 balance on it. I'll get rid of that 20% interest." The banker would go, "That's not, that's a reasonable thing to do. You're reorganizing your life. You've got a few assets you're acquiring, lowering your interest rate costs, and well, I can get you a loan for like 4.99%. So, they're borrowing, they will be borrowing at 1.75. Right now, they're borrowing at 1/4%. That's what they're paying now. So, of course, if you have a savings account, you know how much they're paying you in your savings account interest. You don't have a savings account? You've never had a savings account? Oh, I wonder why. Oh, I know why you haven't got a savings account. You've never had a savings account. You're 30 years old. You're 35 and you've never had a savings account. Or you've had one. You opened up one of those bank accounts years ago, when you got your first job and all that stuff after school, and they gave you a savings account and a checking account, but you've never used your savings account because they were offering 0.1% interest a year on your money as long as you had a minimum balance of so much money in the account. Yeah, I understand. Yeah, there's no savings accounts. That's long gone. I remember back in the 80s, to tell you an old story. Being an old man, I have old stories. I remember back in the 80s, and these are, sometimes we refer to these as the good old days, but at the time we didn't. Uh, in the 80s, we did not refer to the mid 80s as the good old days. At the time, it was the mid 80s. But I remember my wife and I, Jennifer and I, we had purchased a business. We had purchased a little business from a guy. It was basically a lottery booth here in Canada, here in Calgary. We had purchased a lottery booth from an entrepreneur, and the lottery booths then, and I'm not sure about now, but certainly not now, but then, the only way you could have bought a lottery ticket back in the mid 80s or whatever it was, you had to have cash. So you'd come by the booth and you'd want to buy a ticket for the big draw on Saturday night. Like you had Powerball in the US, Canada has 649. So you'd want to buy a ticket for the 649 dollar a ticket. You could buy them in $5 and $10 increments any month you wanted, and the machine will either generate what we call quick picks. It'll just generate random numbers, or you can pick your own numbers. Anyway, we used to sell these lottery tickets off the machines, and with the scratch tickets and all that stuff. And I remember back in the 80s when the interest rate in the savings account was 10%. You can get 10% interest in your savings account. Think about that. And I remember the one bank that our lottery booth was right nearby, next to, they offered a daily interest savings account rather than on the minimum monthly balance in your savings account for the month. They would only give you interest on that amount. This bank was saying, we'll pay you daily interest on your lowest balance of the day. So if it's a Monday morning, like it's a Monday, and during the day there was $1,000 in there, and you added 1,000 to it, you get interest for that day on 1,000. On the next day, you're opening up with a $2,000 balance because you put 1,000 in there. You're getting a daily interest on the $2,000 based on 10% per year. Now we had this lottery booth generating 5 to 10,000 a day in sales, and it was all cash, cash. So we'd go down to the bank about twice a day and just throw money into this thing because we had to pay the lottery foundation via a check once a week. So what we were doing was we set up two accounts. We had a savings account and we had a checking account. And what we did was, up until the day we wrote the check to the lottery foundation, we put all the money into the daily savings account. And it was really handy because I think we cut checks on Wednesdays. So um, uh, Tuesday or Wednesday morning, we would do a transfer into our checking account for the check that we were going to write to the foundation. That way the check never bounced. And every day after that, we would just pound all the dough into the savings account and grow this daily balance up. And so we would have on on Friday evening, we'd have in there maybe 30 grand in cash. And then we would haul in another 20 grand on the weekend, 15 grand. And that would be in there on Monday. So for a couple of days, like 3, 4 days a week, we had 30, 40, 50,000, $60,000 in cash in this savings account. So you think about 50,000 cash in an account, you're getting 10% interest a year on it. That's 5,000 a year. Well, per week, roughly 50 weeks a month, 50 weeks a year, 100 a week. So we were hauling in $100 a week in interest on this account by just being diligent about transferring money once a week to the foundation. It was free money. So we're making interest on money that wasn't even ours because we only got about maybe a 5% commission on all transactions, maybe 8% on average. If you bought a scratch ticket, we used to get 10% commission on a scratch ticket. If you bought a ticket from our machine, we'd get 5% commission. So we ended up with about 7%, whatever it was. So if we hauled in 70,000 a week, we were making 500 a week in commissions, which is 2,000 a month in commissions. And back in those days, our rent on that lottery booth was about 450 a month. We didn't make a ton of money on lottery tickets. What we made money on is we also sold lapel pins for the upcoming Winter Olympics in Los Angeles in 1988, the Summer Olympics, and then the Winter Olympics in Lake Placid and all that stuff. So we would do that, but we were also real hustlers. My Jennifer and I, and we were selling. The Lottery Foundation will always come up with these promotional special tickets that would be in a pouch, and you'd buy a ticket for $10, and you'd open it up, and inside would be two tickets, and one lottery ticket, and a bonus ticket. The bonus ticket was an instant win or nice try, good luck next time. Anyway, we'd get these come around and we'd get 10% commissions on these, and we would order thousands of those. We'd take in way more than we were supposed to and pay for them. And we'd hustle them out the door because these tickets would last about 2 months, and then it would be like a big, grand, spectacular anniversary draw or something like that. And they'd be giving away $30 million. And we would have all these tickets, and we'd be really pushing them to our clients, our regulars, saying, "Here, this is a new one. This is a special draw coming up. Well, I'll throw one. I'll get one of those." And they throw $10 on the counter. We'd make $1, make $1, make $1. And when the draw was over, we never gave back the tickets. We could always return them. Anything you didn't sell, you could give back and get your money back. We wouldn't do that. We buy our ticket guy would come by every week, and we say, "Do you got any of those extra ones left over? Is anybody returning?" "Oh yeah, I got like 800 of them. Oh, we'll buy them all." And we would buy these after the draw was over. Well, what happens was, of course, they're in a sealed pouch, and the numbers are all drawn. So we'd have the numbers all printed out on our computer printout, and we now hustle these tickets as instant tickets because give me $10, open the pouch, and see if you won. First, you could get an instant prize, but second one, you had the last two digits, you won $10 right now. You had the last three digits, you win 100 or whatever it was. So we were selling these instant pouch tickets while we had them. We had customers addicted to this stuff. This is the days before casinos, and so we would haul in thousands of extra dollars in sales from all the tickets that everyone else was turning back. We just tell our rep, you just bring us every unsold ticket you got, we'll buy on all of these draws. We stopped giving back tickets to our lottery guy. We never turned them back in. We just kept selling them. So we'd have tickets for this week's draw. Here they are. Oh, you want tickets for last week's draw? They're right here. They're instant. You can open them right now. See if you won. And so our gamblers were coming in almost every day. And guys would come in, girls would come in. They'd drop a $10 bill every day. I want one of those instants. I want one of those instants, because they're addicted to that thrill of. And if they won $100, they drop 25 right there on something else and take the other 75 and walk. So we were just turning over money and money and money. Anyway, so these daily interest savings accounts are a thing of the past. They might still have them in technical terms, but in reality, no one gets any interest from a bank nowadays, as you probably all know. But in the old days, yeah, the old instant daily interest savings accounts. Then they came up with daily interest checking accounts, and then they started playing games. They always play games at the banks. They would come up with the lowest amount in your account would be, whatever. And if you went negative, or if you went under $100 or under $500, under $1,000, you got nothing for the month. So you had $5,000 in your account for 29 days out of 30, and then purchases go through, and it would wipe out the amount, and you had no interest. The bank had the use of your $5,000 for the whole month for nothing. And that would just upset us to no end. Anyway, those are the days where there was something to go after with respect to at least some kind of interest rate. I think the most I ever got in interest from a bank might have been 12.5% when we were at 18% prime rates, like ridiculous mortgages and stuff like that. That was about a half a year to a year, and then slowly slumped. But it took a long time for interest rates to go under 12%. A long time for that to happen. I do recall as a kid, my dad would say to me, "I want you to save $1 a week for the year. You get an allowance. You babysit kids around here. You do people's lawns. You take empties back all the time to the grocery, to the store. Save $1 a week. I want $50 a year from you every September. At the end of the summer, $50. And that money is going to go into a Canada savings bond with your name on it. And the government of Canada, you're lending the government of Canada money, and they're going to pay you interest on your money." And I thought, well, that's pretty cool. And he came home one day in September and handed me a $50 government of Canada savings bond. He says, "This is yours." He says, "Check it out. I'm going to keep it in safekeeping in all our financial stuff." My dad had a filing cabinet with all the stuff in it. And I'm looking at this document, and that was the first time I was exposed to the bond market. And I was how old was I? 13, 12? I was 12, maybe 10. Maybe I was 10. I was probably much in it. Just a little kid. And I remember reading and noticing on the bond, this document, this piece of paper, which is just as high quality as a dollar bill, like you could feel the ink on it, obviously for forgery purposes, to make sure you can't forge it. They had these coupons that you could cut off with scissors. You could, off on the side, every year you could cut off a little, looked like a postage stamp. And what you could do is you could every year, if you wanted to, you could take that document into a bank, any bank in Canada, and the teller would clip off the bond coupon. Interest was due. Now, I think in those days, I think I was getting 6% interest. So, $50, I was getting $3 a year in interest. So every year I could get $3 from the bond for, I think, the 10-year life of the bond. But here's the kicker: if you didn't clip any of the coupons off the bond, if you left it intact and didn't take the $3, they started paying you interest on the interest. And so after 5 years, you had another stamp you could clip off if the first five were still attached. And that would be interest on the interest. And if you left it for the full 10 years, the bond at the very end, there would be a coupon at the very end. You get all the coupons, interest on the interest plus all the interest. So now you got $3 a year interest. That's $30. And then you got the bonus at the end of 5 years and the super bonus at the end of 10. And it would be like an extra 0.5% or something. It would be like an incentive not to clip the bond. And my dad said to me the first time, I think it was maybe 10 or 11, I had to put up $50. And then a year or two later, because of inflation, instead of getting 2 cents a pop bottle for a return, I was now getting 5 cents for a pop bottle. He said, you got to come up with 100 now. I'm going, this is inflation. I mean, I've got to come up with $2 a week now, and I'm not even working. So now I had to come up with $2 a week, and I had to save it diligently and give him $100 in one shot at the beginning of September every year, because it was government of Canada savings bond season. Ads on the radio, ads in the paper, ads on television. Saving money for your future. Government of Canada savings bonds. So I would give him 100. And then I remember when I was about 14, 15, I would give him, I think, 500. Because now I was making, working at my dad's music store, making some money there. I was doing other jobs, whatever I could get. So I was making $400, $500, $600 a year. So I was saving 500, maybe more than that. And then I remember, I think at the height it was $600 or $700. I may have had a summer job one year, and I think I bought $1,000 worth of bonds for like my 17th year or something. This is before college and all that sort of stuff. Living rent free at home with that magic fridge my dad had. Anyway, when I was 18, I had about $2,000 in savings bonds in my possession. And I remember when I went to get a loan from my bank. I needed a loan for a car, some furniture. This is in Calgary. Jennifer and I were setting up, and I borrowed $3,500, $4,000. I can't remember how much it was, and I put my bonds up as collateral. The bank said, "Oh yeah, we won't clip any of those clippings. We'll leave them compounding for you, of course, because they valued the bond not for what it was worth originally, the 2,000. They added the interest. They said, "Oh, these are worth like $2,400 or $2,800. Oh yeah, that's collateral, no problem. That's cash collateral, Government of Canada collateral." So bonds were really good collateral to have against a loan. So I took a loan for, I had a car and whatever. So I might have owed $5,000 or $6,000 on it. I don't know. 3-year loan. I was paying like $300 a month on it or something. I can't remember all it was. And I remember when I became a stockbroker in 1979. The first few months I was being paid $150 a week to show up, training. Those are tough days. Thankfully, Jen had a real job, and then after 3 months, I was licensed now, and I slowly built a book. And I remember my first breakout month where I made money as a stockbroker, and I got, I think it was my second month, I received something like, I don't know, $4,000 or something. It was just an unfathomable amount of money that came into my hands. Our rent was $370 a month, and I got $4,000 for 1 month after tax. I walked over to the bank calmly to my to my Royal Bank of Canada branch, and I said I want to make this deposit, my paycheck into my account. I needed 100 in cash. This is when you used to deal with tellers. You gave them the check, you wrote out your slip, wanted $100 against it, deposit the rest, and then I said to the teller after we did that, I said, "How much is my loan for? I have a loan here. What's outstanding in my loan?" And she went to the filing cabinet at the back of the bank, and she came back and she said, "Oh, your balance on your loan is $2,158." Here, showed me the thing. I said, "I'd like to pay that off now, please. Can you take that out of my checking account and just pay that loan off in full?" "Oh, yes, Mr. Firm, we can do that for you." And so I signed a little withdrawal slip, and the loan was paid off. That was it. And I didn't owe the bank any more money. It took, what, 50 more years until I got to do that again. That was really cool. That was a feeling. When I walked out of that branch, I went, wow, like the kid is 20, what was I at that point? 23 years old, 20, 23, 24, and I just paid off my debts. And they gave me back my Government of Canada savings bonds. They mailed them to me the next week saying, "Thank you for paying off the loan. We appreciate your business. Here are your Government of Canada savings bonds that you used as collateral. We thank you very much," because they held them for me. And now I had all my Canada savings bonds. And now they were coming up for maturity. And so when they matured out, I would take them into the bank and get the full interest on bonus interest. And I threw it all in the checking account, and it would just add to the balance. So yeah, way back when. At one time, you could buy Government of Canada savings bonds. I think the most they ever paid, if I recall, was 15% or 16% 1 year. There was 1 year where they paid a hefty amount. The problem with Government of Canada savings bonds, actually, the actual problem is there was a limit as to how much you could buy. You could only buy so many dollars worth a year per Canadian. In those days, they limited how much money they would take from you. I don't think there's a limit anymore. They don't have Government of Canada savings bonds, by the way, anymore. They don't do that anymore. But now, if you buy a bond from the Government of Canada, how much have you got? We'll take all your dough. But I know that there were clients of mine who were asking me, "Should I buy any of these Government of Canada savings bonds?" I said, "Yes, you should. And for each of your children, you should do it. Max it out for every one of your kids." And my older clients, I was telling them, do it, buy as much as you can for every grandchild you have, and put it into a trust, so that when the kid in 10 or 12 years, when this thing matures, the child is 5 will be 17, or 7 will be 19. This could be college money or whatever, however you designate it, because you're buying it for so and so in trust, and then you're the guy pulling the trigger on it while you're alive and well, or if whoever's running your estate will decide what that money's for, rather than just party time. Anyway, yeah, those are the old days when we used to get interest on our money. Oh my God, interest on your money? Are you kidding me? You don't get interest on your money. There's no stinking interest. Badges? We don't have no stinking badges. Interest? We don't pay no stinking interest. Are you kidding me? Keep in mind, though, that when we were getting 12%, 10%, 14% interest, we were getting that. Inflation was 18% to 20%. We were losing. We were losing against inflation. So your savings account, you hauled in $100 in interest. That's great, but the cost of everything has gone up more than that. So we're just trying to hang on. We're trying to tread water in a crazy land of ours. So there were people buying Government of Canada savings bonds for years that were getting 10, 12, 14, 15% interest, that they bought up and bought up and bought up and bought up. And they were losing every year to inflation. And then they started to win, because the inflation rate came down to 10%, down to 8%. Then inflation came down to 6%. And here were these Government of Canada bonds outstanding, billions of dollars in bonds that the Government of Canada was on the hook for, paying 10 to 16% all the bonds. Those folks finally got their comeuppance. They got their win at the end. But that program died, I think, oh no, I don't know how long ago, 15 years ago. So as soon as interest rates went down to like zero, with zero interest rate or low interest rate policies that we started doing after the financial crisis and beyond that, for further than that, that was the end of the Government of Canada program because it cost the government more money to print the documents and to maintain the data of all the owners of all this. This used to be done by hand. This used to all be done by clipping coupons. Actual little tiny postage stamps would come into the Government of Canada from the banks. There were people handling this stuff. Oh, can you imagine the millions and millions of little chits that came in that had to be assessed and double checked against? And oh, the nightmare of hand handling $3, $5, $2 interest rate coupons. Like, oh yeah, I remember Government Canada savings bonds used to be available at $25 denominations. You could buy $25, $50 worth, 100. You could buy the 200. I remember when I saw my first 500. I thought, oh, look at this. This document is worth $500. This is a $500 bond with my name on it. Whoa! The government owes me. I'm keeping this country running. Uh, Days gone by, kids. Those of you 30 and under, you have no idea what the hell I'm talking about. What is he? What is he ranting about? It doesn't. That does not. It's fantasy talk. What? I can buy one share of Apple. What do I need a coupon for? Yeah, that's where the term "clip your coupons" comes from. Clipping coupons. It's not grocery coupons. It's not the coupons in the old newspapers and magazines. No, no, no. Coupon clipping was from bonds. You used to buy bonds. You used to buy bonds for your city, for your state or your province, for your country. You'd buy bonds, and then the widows, all the widows out there who had lost their husbands years ago, and kids are all moved out. The widows, once a month or so, or once a quarter, or once a year, depending on what kind of bond they had, they would go to their bank and go to their safety deposit box and turn the key, and the bank person would turn the key, and they'd get their box out. They'd go in a little room, and they'd have their pair of scissors with them. The bank would provide them with a pair of scissors, and the widows would be clipping the bonds, the interest rate clips, because some of these bonds paid annual interest, didn't pay additional bonus interest. So you had to clip your bond every year. It didn't matter if you skipped a year, you came back next year, you got 2 years worth of interest. Hey, you're not getting interest on the interest, so the bond issuer didn't care if you didn't cash in your coupon. But the widows out there would have $50,000 in bonds, $51,000 bond certificates in their savings account, in their bank, that little saving box. I'll get it out. And they would clip 50 coupons, and each coupon would pay $1,000, 4%, $40 a year, and they clip 50 of them, $2,000. Well, $2,000 in 1962 was a piss pot of money. $2,000. That, oh my God! I remember paying rent of $170 a month in 1976. 2,000 a year. That was a year of rent in my one-bedroom apartment. Can you imagine in 1962 how much that was? That would have been like 3 years of rent. So these widows clipping these $2,000 in bonds, yeah, these coupons are worth it. Now they would clip them out, and then they would give them all to their bank teller, and it would be the bank manager or the assistant manager or whatever. These people had their own bankers. Again, something you folks have no idea what this is. You'd go into your bank branch and they'd go, "Hello, Mrs. Mabel, how are you?" They know your name. They know everything about you. And they also knew, the bank knew what was in your savings box, and they also knew when it was clipping time, interest rate clipping time. It would be every quarter, every year. And so here would come every day 20, 30 of the customers they'd come out and they'd clip coupons in their little rooms, and then they would deposit the money, the coupons, into their accounts. And some of them, of course, had $100,000 of coupons, and they're bringing in 5% a year, and it's just 5,000 a year in 1962, 63, 64. $100 a week in money. That's a wage, man. And of course, these widows were getting the survivor pension from their husband. They were getting their own social security, and these widows had, 1,000 a month coming in, 500 a month from bond interest, and 500 a month from everything else. They were getting 1,000 a month, and the cost of a house was $8,000, $9,000. Hello, today's houses are worth half a million, $700,000. Can you imagine getting double that in pension money and bond money? Think about this. How? Oh yeah, this was the middle class. This was the retirement class of 1963, 2, 4, 5, 6. This is what we're talking about. We're not talking about little old ladies that are broke. No, 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 no. We're talking about little old ladies that are flush with cash, and the interest rate would be lower on bond interest than on earnings and so on. So the bank managers were right there to service their needs. And if you had enough of the bonds, what would happen is you'd go to your safety deposit box, and you would take that with the manager would carry it for you, and you would go into the manager's office, and the manager would close the door, would have maybe a secretary come in, and the two of them would go through your bonds with you to make sure we don't miss any of these coupons, because it all had to be done by hand. And the secretary would be cutting out every one of the coupons, and the bank manager would be double checking with you. Yep, this bond here is from the gas company. This is a bond you bought from the city of Los Angeles. This is a bond that you bought from the government of the United States. Whatever it was, corporate bonds and so on. Clip, clip, clip. And then he would tally it all up, write it all down on the deposit slip. And so, Mrs. Mabel, we're going to deposit, we're going to credit your account today with $4,488 of all your interest that you've earned, and we'll take care of all those coupons. We'll get them all cashed in. Don't worry, the money is in your account right now. You can spend that 4480 any way you want. And of course, what would the widow do? Oh, I'd like to buy $1,000 worth of a bond. I'd like to buy another $1,000 bond in this bank, or government of Canada, a government of the United States. I'd like to buy another bond, or I'd like to buy 10 $100 bonds for my 10 grandchildren. And so the bank manager would fill out all the paperwork and get all the orders taken care of. All the names would be set up, and all the bonds would be eventually mailed into the bank on behalf of the client. And then when the client would come in the next time, the bank manager would have a meeting with Mrs. Mabel, and they would pull out of the vault the bonds that have come in for you and your grandchildren, and we'll get your savings box. Let's go to your savings account box. We'll pull the box out. We'll put the bonds in there, and we'll make an appointment to clip the coupons a year from whenever. And so these appointments will be pre-made every year for their clients. And that's what the branch managers, assistant branch managers always did. Mr. Drysdale, you remember Mr. Drysdale from the Beverly Hillbillies? This is who I'm talking about. Mr. Drysdale, wearing those impeccable suits, was looking after all those widows and widowers that had all these bonds that they were saving all their assets on, and of course was there to handle mortgage documentation and everything else that was needed to be done for financial planning. That was your financial planner if you had enough dough. And they knew your children's names, they knew your relatives' names, they knew exactly where your house was in town. And you would get an invite to, you certainly get a Christmas card every year. You'd likely get a birthday card every year from the bank, appreciating your business. Do you get that now? Do you get those birthday cards every year from your banker saying thank you so much for having an account with us, and We so appreciate your business. Those credit card companies that charge you 22% interest. Do you get lovely Christmas cards every year wishing you the best of the season to you and your? You don't? You don't get that? Oh, gee, that's too bad. Because in the old days, your bank manager knew you. Your bank manager knew your mom and dad. Your bank manager knew your grandparents. Your bank manager has known your family for 30 years before you showed up, and now is going to get to know you. And the new bank manager was going to get to know you as well, right? Because hey, when you come out of college, you're going to get that job at the insurance company, or at the oil and gas company, or at the electric company, or wherever you're working, and you're gonna get married real soon, and you're gonna need a house for you and your wife. And hey, every new graduate, after a couple of years of working, you're gonna have to get your own car. You certainly can't drive around a beater like you did as a kid. I mean, those days are over now. And then we got to talk to you about planning your family, because you're thinking of having 2 or 3 children. But it's time to put it together a plan here. That's what these bankers would. Oh, tax time was coming up. They get you to a tax advisor to make sure you get all your write-offs and all your refunds. And when your refund check came, you'd bring it into the bank, and you'd sit down with a manager and figure out what to do with this money. Because in those days, the middle class had more money coming in than going out if you were in any way responsible. Oh, and don't forget, in 1960, 1960, 58, 62, 64, 66, you got a new car every year or two. You got a new car because you had the cash to buy a new car. And you'd use the old one as a second car, maybe, or you'd sell it off, trade it in on a new car. Your bank manager was always there to handle those financial transactions with you, anything you needed. Remember, there weren't credit cards in 1958, 1956. You just couldn't travel around the world. So if you were planning a trip to the continent in 1958, you're going to take the Queen Elizabeth or the Queen Mary from New York to Southampton, and then travel the continent for 2 months, maybe this summer for a holiday. You would need some cash. You're going to need currency for various countries. You need the British pound, sterling. You're going to need currency in France. You're going to need French, francs. If you're going to be in West Germany in 1953, 54, you're going to need Deutschmarks, West German Deutschmark. If you're going to be in Czechoslovakia, you're going to need their currency. If you're going to be in Switzerland, you're going to need the franc. You're going to be in Spain for a little bit, you're going to need their currency. You had to know, the banker had to be able to handle all this for you, so that when you left town on the train from St. Louis to New York, which might be in an overnight train or so, you'd have U.S. cash to get there. You'd have your hotel reserved in New York, maybe, at the plaza or whatever. That would be all done by telegraph. And then you'd be a day or two in New York, or 3, and then your ship leaves on, Friday, the whatever day. 3 days later, then you'll make your way to the ship, and when you get on board the ship, you'll go to the purser's office. Those of you who take cruises, you know exactly what I'm talking about, because the first thing you do when you go on a cruise ship now is you go to the purser. You don't know what a purser is? You've never heard of what a purser? A purser is the person on the ship that is in charge of the vault. They're in charge of the keeping all the money safe. So you basically either have a vault in your room, but unlikely. You would have your valuables, your diamonds, your jewelry, and your cash kept with the purser in a vault on board the ship, and they would record it all on a document that would be kept also safe, so that only you and the purser knew what you had on board the ship, including all your foreign currency that you're taking with you to Europe. And so if you were going out tonight to the dining room for a fancy meal, which you would every night, your wife would say, I want to wear the necklace that grandma gave me, and I want to wear my brooch and what. Dad, or the husband, would either call for the purser or go down to the purser's office and would withdraw those items from the vault on board the ship. And have them brought to the room by the purser's representative, or would take it himself in an envelope. And mom would be wearing her finery. They'd go out for the evening. And at the end of the evening, before they go back to the room, they go back to the purser's office to put everything back in the vault. And that would be the 5, 6 day trip across the Atlantic. And once you got to Southampton, if you're going to get off the ship there, you would then go to the purser's station on the last day of your cruise, the morning of departure, and you would withdraw everything out, which would all be written out, and you would sign everything that you received, all your stuff back, because it would be in envelopes inside the vault just for you. And you would now leave your ship with all of your valuables, and everything's good to go. And now you're headed to your hotel that you reserved by telegraph months ago to start your journey to the continent. And you might well have railroad passes already or tickets, and you're on your way now to enjoy the continent. All because your banker helped you set all this up from your hometown before you left. Of course, that's how you travel now, right? You go to your bank manager before you leave town. You go to your bank manager and you tell them, I'm going on a cruise out of Miami for a 1 week Caribbean cruise. And they'll say, don't worry, there's a purser on board. They'll take care of all your valuable. No, you don't. You don't have a bank manager. You don't have a bank branch. You don't have a. You don't have a physical location to. Oh, how do you folks get? How do you get by in this world? How do you? If someone came in here in a flux capacitor from 1952 and landed in your street and knocked on your door and said, "Hey, listen, my house used to be here, but I don't recognize this. Can you help me out?" And then you didn't think they were crazy. You had them come in for a coffee and you had a little chat with them. And you realized, oh my God, this person has traveled here from 1952. And they used to live in this location in a house that was torn down 30 years ago to put up low income housing where I live. These folks have no idea what the modern world is all about. The first person they want to see, one of the very first persons they're going to want to see is their bank manager at their branch, at the main branch of the whatever bank in downtown, wherever you are. And you're going to say, oh, there is no branch like that anymore. That bank went under or got merged with Citibank. Who's Citibank? Oh, gosh. There are no safety deposit boxes anymore. No, no. You want some spending money, cash? Do you have a debit card? What's a debit card? Oh, ATM. You don't know ATM. What's an ATM? Can you imagine someone from 52 arriving right now, coming to somehow bumps into you, and you're trying to show them the modern world that they thought they were in 52, and they were in the modern world in 52. Now in 22, 70 years later, they are clueless what is going on. How do you buy gasoline? Where are the guys that fill up your tank? You pull into the gas station. How come there's nobody coming out here to check your tires and check your oil and fill up your fluids and stuff? No, you do that yourself. What? You do it yourself. You get your hands all dirty, don't you? Well, yeah, kind of. Really? How do you pay for it? Oh, you don't even go inside. You don't go inside. No, you don't even go inside. You just hit buttons on this thing here. Swipe this little piece of plastic. What? What happened to my world 70 years ago? Oh my God! I got to see my doctor. I need to talk to him about a condition I have. A doctor? you're, not, you're not going to go see a doctor. Oh, come on! Stop it! Go to a clinic. What's a clinic? Well, it's where they have all kinds of medical people who will assess your situation. But do you have coverage? What? Yeah, things have changed. Things have really changed. And welcome to the new world. Anyway, I just kind of got off on a tangent there. 11 minutes to go until we open. Welcome to the real world. Here we are. 1986, my first year, my salary was a little under $18,000. Oh my God. Yes. 86 E-bonds doubled in value every 7-year period. I was rich. Not when I grew up, I realized I was dumb, a 17-year-old not fighting for freedom, but American greed. Yeah. Thank you for these thumbs ups, you guys. I really appreciate them. Welcome to the party, pal. Welcome to the party, pal. That's right. Oh my goodness, goodness, goodness. Oh, it's going to be wonderful weather in UK all week. Oh, this is good to hear. Good morning, everybody. Thank you all for being here and popping in to see me so far. Hope you don't mind the old stories of the old days. Oh my gosh, I just can't believe it. I know my dad used to be a traveling salesman and he needed cash to pay for his hotels. And his hotels would be $6 to $12 a night, depending on where he stayed, in what city and what time of year and so on. And he'd be gone for the week, and he would need about $100 in cash for gas, food, lodging, and if his car broke down, and he needed a mechanic to do a repair, he would need to get his hands on cash from a bank. He could write a check if the mechanic would accept it, not necessarily accept it, especially from out of town. But yeah, those days, there was no such thing as a credit card. Not 1962, 63. There was an American Express card in the States, but it was very limited. Very few businesses accepted anything like that because what the hell's a credit card? They didn't know. It was cash, man, cash and checks. But my dad could go into a bank. If he went into the Royal Bank of Canada and he had a Royal Bank of Canada account in his hometown, he could go into the Royal Bank of Canada and have a chat with the manager or assistant manager and explain the situation that my vehicle broke down. I work for so-and-so company. Here's my business card. I need $100 for repair for my vehicle. I have an account at so-and-so. I'd like to withdraw enough cash. Well, the manager would pick up the telephone and call the assistant manager of that branch just to verify that I got this guy here. He calls himself so-and-so. Oh, yes, that's Mr. Frommert. Yes, of course. Yes, that's Mr. Frommert. What does he need? Oh, he needs $100 for some mechanical. You can give him up to $500. He's good for it. Whatever check he wants to write to you, you're covered. Oh, okay. Oh, we'll take good care of this guy. And he'd come back in and say, Mr. Frommert, whatever you need. You need $100, $200 for it. Just write a check, whatever you want. I'll give you cash right now. And my dad would write a check and sign the back of it. The manager would take care of it, get him this dough, and he'd be on his way back to the mechanic to get his car. Those were the days how that got done. God help you if your car broke down on a Friday night and you couldn't talk to the branch manager till Monday, or the mechanic didn't start till Monday. You were stranded where you were unless you could rent a car. And then, of course, you're renting a car by a check, and they would have to take a chance on you as well. Oh, those were days. Oh, gosh. Yeah, that's what it was. Scary stuff. Anyway, folks, welcome to the show. We have 7 minutes to go until we open. Enough of the old talk. How are the markets going to do for us today? That is the question. I'm showing the Dow down 48 points, S&P down 1.25, Nasdaq down 42. This is a nothing burger here. We're up 449 on crude, so a little higher on crude. Let's take a look at some pre-market trades right now. Let's take a peek at some stuff here. I'm showing Rocket Lab up 12 cents. You may have caught my video on the weekend. You may not have, where I was talking about Rocket Lab and 23andMe. I mentioned that Rocket Lab had a 4.4 million share block trade take place after the close of trading on Friday night. And that was done at 407 or 907 a share. Pardon me, 907 a share, which is the closing price Friday night, up 42 cents on Friday. Right now we're 919, up 12 cents. I speculated, and I still wonder if by chance, now that this 4.4 million got done in the aftermarket, is that a seller who had to sell under pressure? And that seller is gone now, and there is no 4, 5, 6, 10 million share block anymore for sale. Is it possible that this seller sold Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, unloaded 50 million shares? I don't know. I have no idea how many they started with. But the last 4.4 went out the door Friday night, and it's all over. And is it possible that we have a free open highway through the $10 mark now? I'm kind of curious. I'd like to know that. I sure will find out pretty quick. 919 at up 12. SoFi is up 7 cents to 994. We're going to take a run at 10 today, I hope. GameStop is down 68 cents to 90.12. AMC up 4 cents. Matterport doesn't show any changes or trades probably. 23andMe is showing up 8. They had a block trade after the bell Friday night at 372 for 2.5 million shares. So 2.5 million at the last price to 372 was the close. A block trade went through in the first few minutes of after hours trading. And here we are now at 380, up 8 cents. Is that the same thing? Was it possible that for days and days and days, 23andMe had a seller of 10 or 15 or 20 million shares that had to sell because they're being sold out because of a problem somewhere? I don't know, because I'm sure they paid $10 for this stuff. They got their butt handed to them, and they finally got rid of them at 372. And now we're going to open it a little higher. Is that going to happen? We're going to find out. Spire is up 5 cents to 203. A little better. ATIP up just a penny to 180. We're waiting for breakouts there. I'm showing SmartRent up 14 cents at 715 a share. I'm showing Sixtera showing a 51-cent gain, but I don't think there's any volume on Sixtera, so I don't know how reliable that quote really is. Apple is down 19, and Goldman is off 38 cents. Cisco is down 2 cents. Tesla's up $12.50 to 918 almost now. $918. Welcome back. ARC Innovations down 40 cents to 65.37. I think it got as low as 51 last week. Microsoft up $1.50 to 298.92. Let's call it 299 among friends. Option writing time here. And then there's Bed Bath & Beyond down 18 cents to 21.89. And Pfizer, our friends at Pfizer are showing down 41 cents to 54.10 on the pre-market. I'm not surprised to see a little pullback on Pfizer. It's had a pretty good run. Welcome one, welcome all to the fun zone. Let's see how the markets do today, what kind of volumes we're going to get. Thank you also for all these thumbs ups. 180 now. 180 thumbs ups. Thank you, guys. Appreciate that. I always love seeing 200 before we start the day. If you guys can hit that thumbs up button in the next minute and a half, we need 19 more to hit 200 before we open for the day. So I'll just sit here and wait for that. Okay, I'll just hang on. Let me just double check. 186, 193, 7 more to go, and we'll start the show off. Thank you, everybody. I really appreciate it. I'm not holding you hostage, am I? I mean, come on. I wouldn't do that. Thank you, everybody. 196 thumbs ups and count. I think we're going to have 200. Thank you, everybody. Appreciate the thumbs ups this morning. Let's get on it, baby. Let's make some money. What do you think? Goldman Sachs COO Waldron takes home $33 million. Well, if you're going to take something home, why don't you take home $33 million? I mean, look, you only go around once, okay? The guy's got bills, he's got expenses, he has needs and obligations. Cut the guy a break and let the man make a couple of bucks in his chosen profession. I mean, don't give the man a hard time. I mean, it's only 2.5 million-ish a month. I mean, like 2.6 million a month. I mean, how is a guy supposed to get by in Manhattan on 2.6 million a month average compensation? I mean, think about it, kids. I mean, this isn't just enjoy the good times. I mean, there's hard choices to be made here, and think about all the taxes that guy has to pay. I mean, then you got the vacation home, and you've got the wife and her needs, and the kids, and a couple of cars. And, I bet you he talks to his bank manager. Maybe he is a bank manager. Well, but he's got to have some. I don't know. I'm just curious. Anyway, here we are, everybody. We're down 66 points on the Dow. We're open now. We're here, and we're running. Let's see how the markets do. Do me a favor. For those of you who are going to see your bank manager today, say hi from Uncle Bruce to your bank manager today, and you know, make sure they don't forget your birthday card and Christmas card. They got to appreciate your business, just like Mr. Trisdale appreciated Jed Clampett's business from the Beverly Hillbillies. Mr. Drysdale was always at that house with the cement pond in the back. Anyway, thank you all for being here. We're down 39 on the Dow. We're down 2 pennies on Rocket Lab. Now I'm showing up 10 on Rocket Lab. Yay! SoFi 983 off 4. GameStop 9102 up 24 cents. AMC up 13. What's going on here? Matterport down 2 pennies. ME down 5. Spire down 3. ATIP down 3. Smart Red down 12 and Cyxtera unchanged. Well, let's give it a few more minutes and let's let this market settle in and see what is it made of today. What do we got going on today? What do we have to keep an eye on? Where are we really going? Thank you, everybody. Nicholas, easy 200 Showtime, baby. There you go. Uncle Bruce, you're funny. Here's 200 thumbs ups. Not Larry Titus is ringing the bells. Thanks, buddy. I put a stink bid in on GameStop, 100 shares on Thursday in the after hours, just before the numbers came out at 76.01, and I got hit at 76.01. And you're now sitting on 91.12. Nice trade. Well done. Nice acquisition. Duncan, good morning, DQ. How's it going with the simpletons? Of course, now, Tasty Donkey, you can write calls on those 100 shares. And if you can bring in $10 a call for like a 3-week call or something like that, maybe 90s or something like that, that's 10 against your $76 price. Oh, that's good returns already. I like this. I like it. Joanne, hi there. Good morning, Bruce and friends. Hi there, Joanne. DQ, morning, Duncan. Morning, all in meetings, but stop by to say hello. Hi, everybody. Olivia's here. Thank you, Olivia. Bobby's buy low, sell high. There you go. Big Apple is here. What's the final recommendation before stock market opens? I missed a lot of the shows. Bradley, good afternoon from the UK. Hope you all have a magical week. Sean and Wendy, God's amazing. Thank you. Silica's here. Sean and Wendy, of course. Thank you guys for popping in and saying hi to us and being here. We got a lot to watch for. I'm kind of thinking that we may have a little consolidation the next day or two. We may be digesting some of these 2,000 point up moves we've had on the Dow. We'll see. Not saying it's a downhill thing from here or straight uphill. We may have a little turnover and consolidation. We'll watch for that. One never knows. Duncan, Alberta, good morning. When is the Florida trip VIP table? He wants to know. LL, only 16,000 wall for SoFi at 10. There's nothing for sale to stop SoFi. Yeah, it's a little run of market, a little push of buying, and it's over 10. It'll be gone. Yes, I think so. Where are we at now? We're down 16. No, we're down 10 on the Dow. 10 points. Now down 8.7 on the Dow. So the Dow's trying to go green here. S&P is green, 7.9. NASDAQ down 8.5. So that's about to go green if it's moving in the right direction. Oil up 416 a barrel to 108 right now. I'm going to sneeze, so all right, hang on one second. Oh boy. Thank you, everybody, for being here. We've got oil at 108.87. Let's see here. Let's go. Keep an eye on those Pfizer dips, says Duncan. That's right. What else is going on here? Never a dull moment. The Pfizer is 54.93. It's actually up 43 cents. We'll see how that holds. Down 2 on the Dow, up 3 on Rocket Lab, down 4 on SoFi, up 94 cents on GameStop. We're up 34 on AMC. Matterport is up a penny. ME down half a penny. Spire is up 1 cent. Down 1 cent. Pardon me. Spire's down 1 cent. ATIP down 3. Smart Rent down 6. Cyxtera down 8. So it's really pennies only. Sell my house faster in Upper Marlboro. Late today. I'm number 222. Welcome to 222. Thumbs up number 222. I appreciate everyone helping me out with these thumbs ups. It all helps so much. Thank you all so much for popping through here and catching up with us. 223 thumbs ups now. And I note that a number of you are now sitting on these yellow or gold colored bagels beside your names, which is telling me you are now 1 year members of this channel. And I thank you for such loyalty to this channel. Appreciate that. Those of you who, some of you were picking up classes this weekend. Some of you were watching some of the classes this weekend. Way to go, getting the knowledge in there on how to write call options and becoming a smarter call option writer, picking up all little tips and tricks. Way to go, you guys. Congrats, and welcome to the party, pal. Love it. We're up 36 now on the Dow. We've gone green. We're up 14 on S&P, and we're up 2.5 on NASDAQ. So the markets have turned positive slightly. We'll probably hang around this break-even area for a while. We'll see how it all kind of works out. Still up $4.19 on oil at this point in time. Okay. And what else is going on here? Austin saying, I thought it was buy high, sell low. Maybe that's been my problem as of late. Yeah, Austin, you may want to change direction on that. Scott, I've got to stop listening to Bruce right before bed. I had a dream that Spire was $12. Now I have to buy more. Jason Laws, thanks, Jason Laws, for the thumbs up, buddy. Spire, Bruce, wasn't there something with a special show for 1 year members? Wasn't there something with a special show for one? No, nothing like that was done. Let's Rock says Double D, Spire. And good morning, y'all. Good morning, Spire. Duncan, I have a few meetings today and pick up my hybrid with Toyota Corolla. 53 miles per gallon. Nice going here. Kareem, Uncle Bruce, Jeffries cuts GameStop to 90. Many ideas why. I can't. There's 3 firms that cover the stock. One says it's 30, one says it's 29 or 19, and one says it's 90. So yeah, I'm not going there. Can't help them. I'm not going to criticize them. I'm not going to compliment them. I'm just going to leave it alone. Testy Donkey, I'm thumbs up number 234, buddy. Thank you so much for 234 thumbs ups already. There's 433 of you here. That means only 200 of you have not given us a thumbs up. Only 200 of you are slackers. That's not bad. What was that guy's name in Back to the Future who called everybody a slacker? Mr. What was his name? Didn't that guy ever have hair? Strickland is calling you a slacker for not giving me a thumbs up. Don't be a slacker. Don't be a Strickland. Don't get in Strickland's crosshairs. You don't want to do that, folks. Help me out. Give me some thumbs ups, and don't be a slacker. Thank you, everybody. We're up 8 on Rocket Lab to 915. See how desperate I am for thumbs ups. 207,000 volume on Rocket Lab. Well, we'll see how we do there. SoFi at 968. We're down 19 cents on 4.5 million. We'll get rid of whatever wants to be sold off and move on from there, I guess. GameStop 92.04 up $1.25. AMC 16.22 up 42 cents. Matterport 8.28 up a penny. ME up 1 penny now for ME 373 after bottoming out of 367. 177,000 shares traded. What else have we got here? Hang on, let me go through here. ME Spire is 197.5 almost, down like half a penny. ATIP down 2 cents. Smart Rent down 2 cents. Cyxtera down 12. Look at the Pfizer, 55.07, 55.18. Well, it wants to go higher. My attitude on Pfizer is always the same, or any stock. You want to go up, you're going to make shareholders richer by going up. Option writers, of course, will go, okay, you want to go higher? Well, we'll do rollovers. Don't worry. We'll do when we come up to expiry date, we'll look at rollovers. Not a problem. We'll figure that out. It's okay. 2.2 million traded so far, trading at 14.3 times earnings. 55.17 on Pfizer right now. We'll watch that, obviously. Now, Robinhood is down 38 cents to 13.06. Vanek Vectors is off 21 cents. Nothing going on here. Home Depot down $1.93. IBM up 20 cents. Microsoft down 111, but Apple's up $1.01. So there you go. Goldman down $1.50. Cisco up 50. Facebook down 3.98. Amazon up only $2. Tesla's up 33 to 9.38. Google is up 7.5 now to 27.43. Bed Bath Beyond up 7 cents. BlackBerry up 35 cents to 7.38. Royal Caribbean down 118 to $75. Bad news for cruise lines. Higher oil prices. Target up $2. J.P. Morgan down 33 cents. Costco down is up $3. Walmart up 160. Nvidia up 124. American Airlines down 38 cents. Netflix down 51 cents. Moderna up $1.92 to 180 on good old Moderna, $180. Anyway, there you go. There's some of the numbers here. We're down 11 points on the Dow as we now, again, we'll do some churning here, some turnover, reconsolidation, digestion of the gains. This is what I was expecting here. I am noting there's more and more talk about takeover talk in America business. Coles is a takeover target stock. Now Berkshire Hathaway is going to buy reinsurer Allegheny for $11 billion. There's talk of other deals floating around here. That's what happens in a higher interest rate environment, higher inflation environment. You get corporations who want to grow, but rather than invest in their business, they'll look at someone else's business and say, if we buy those guys and bring them into our group, we can grow a lot quicker and a lot larger with, X amount of capital. we don't want to put 11 billion into our existing business, but if we buy that business for 11 billion, it will add dramatically to our business as a combined force. We are, instead of 1 plus 1 is 2, 1 plus 1 could be 4. Because that company has business, it does business in areas we're not in. And we're better off to just buy them and bring them into our family. Now we cover a wider geographical area rather than try to compete with these guys and go after it's a losing proposition. Only one of us can survive and make money in this territory or these other regions. They've got those regions, we've got these regions. Why don't we just merge them together? And now we've got the whole USA covered, or a larger part of America or the world. Makes more sense. Plus, our bankers in Wall Street would love to issue bonds for us for the $11 billion we need, or the $2 billion we need, or the $10 billion, whatever the deal is, whoever's doing it. We could borrow the money at 2% interest for the next 15 years to acquire a company, blah, 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 vend it into our company. And if it works out the way we figure it will, because we've talked to them and they like the idea, we're both on the same page here about doing this thing, this merger. We together, our shares will go much higher. They'll become shareholders of our company. We'll all be, one big happy family. And 2 years from now, our shares could be double the value they are today. And all we did was borrow money from bondholders, which in effect means the company we bought will pay the bond interest off. And all of us are richer in shares because that's what we all have, shares in the company. We don't have bonds. Bonds are owned by the bankers. And we'll pay those bonds off, or we'll pay the interest for 15 years with slight depreciation pay downs. But in 15 years, we'll do a rollover of maybe half of that amount for another 10 years or something at whatever interest rates those are. We'll cross that bridge when we get to it. In the meantime, both businesses are growing, expanding. A $10 billion acquisition in 15 years is a nothing burger. It's equal to like a $2 billion acquisition today. Inflation just, goes up. Better to issue bonds now for cash and owe the bankers, investors, all these institutions, better to owe them this cash locked into 2022 dollars. And we need to come up with the 10 billion actual principal amount in 15 years. We need it in 2037. Well, in 2037, a $10 billion principal cash requirement is a fraction of what it is today. And so the management that will be running this organization in 15 years, which may not be us because If you're the chairman of the company at age 64 now, you're 79 then, you may not be around. It'll be a new chairman. That chairman will have an easy peasy $10 billion loan to deal with in 15 years from that acquisition they made back in 22 when the stock was 28 bucks a share. Shares are now $200 a share. Yeah, this is a no-brainer. They could issue some stock and pay that off, or they could just do a rollover of debt. Easy peasy. Welcome to the world of finance. The bond market. Oh, SoFi's now on fire again. 971 down 16. Let's go. 974. Let's go. SoFi. Come on. Let's go. Low is 963. Let's go. Stop going down, SoFi, says Nicholas, or I'll be forced to buy you again. Don't make me do it. I'll buy you, buddy. I'll buy you. Oh, yes, 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 yes. Olivia doesn't like this corporate thing. She's not so much of a fan about this. That's okay. Again, good morning, Coyote. How was your weekend? Duncan wants to know. You know, this is business 101. You get airlines that consolidate. We used to have 15 airlines. Now we got 4 or 5. Consumers, of course, are the losers until somebody new comes along and opens up a new airline to compete against those monsters. The turnover constantly takes place, and little airlines get created to nibble away at the big boys until they get to a certain point, and the big boys buy those up too. You get that. Uh, Banks buy banks. Computer companies buy computer companies. Um, Automakers merge with automakers. It's all railroads merge with railroads. Mines merge with mines. It is what it is. It's a constant turnover, and that's what it is. What can I say? Yeah. What else? What else? What else is going on? I just want healthy competition. Oh, I hear you, Olivia. But corporate America doesn't want healthy competition. No, 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 no. Corporate America wants to rule the roost. American Airlines will be headquartered out of Dallas, where United will be headquartered out of Chicago, and Delta will be headquartered out of Atlanta. And American will fly flights into Atlanta, but not too many. And United will fly flights into Atlanta, but not too many. And Delta will fly flights to Dallas and Chicago, but not too many, because each airline respects its hubs and its turf. And you can't make money competing against another airline. All you can do is lose money competing against another airline. You make money where the other airlines don't bother you so much. That's where you can jack your ticket prices to the max and make the dough. And the same thing with the drug prices. You create your drug, and then you have your patent on it, and then you make slight adjustments to the drug in the 8th and 9th year. You come up with a new patent for another 10 years on the drug that you've been selling, and you claim to the patent office this is a whole new drug, and no one else can make this stuff for at least another 10 years. And you keep the generics out of your drug area by launching court cases against generics who dare to try to produce your patented drug. And you try to keep that patent going for 10 years after 10 years after 10 years to sell the drug for $50 a pill when it costs a nickel to make. This is America. This is how you make money, man. You maximize your profits, you minimize your costs, and you crush your opposition, especially small up-and-comers. You crush them and keep them down. And if that doesn't work, you go to your politicians with super PACs and you buy them to then get votes in the houses of state legislatures and elsewhere to make it illegal for competition to come into these areas against you, because after all, you're good for your state. These other outfits aren't. And away we go. Influencers. Lobbyists, that's all it is. It's nothing personal. It's just business. It's nothing personal. It's just business. Okay, Bruce, that's it. I'm going to Canada. I'm over this America stuff. Rob, should get the dry ones and melt some nice chocolate and espresso, dip it. Delicious. I have no idea what Rob's talking about, but I appreciate it. I appreciate you being here. We're down 69 points on the Dow right now. We're up 4.3 on S&P. We're down 37 on NASDAQ. And what else is going on here? Rocket Lab down 22 at 885. SoFi down 32 to 954. So we have a little consolidation, a little pullback here. GameStop up 81 cents, AMC up 13, Matterport down 25, ME up a half a penny, Spire up a half a penny, down a half a penny, ATIP is down 1 cent, Smart Rent down 2, Cyxtera down 2 cents. Over on Pfizer, 55.04 after hitting a high of 55.26. A little pullback on Pfizer from the highs. It's still at 56 cents. It's doing fine. Yeah, that's the story of a lovely lady who had 3 lovely girls of her own. We are mixed. We're up on IBM. We're down on Microsoft. We're up on Apple. Down on Goldman. We're up on Cisco. Down on Facebook. Google's down. Tesla's up. Amazon's up. Around and around we go, trying to figure out where we're headed. And this is today. This is what I'm expecting today. We had a lovely run last week, and we've got to figure out where we're going this week. First day or two, we'll figure it out, and then we'll see the direction. I suspect higher is where we're going. It's day 25, day 26 in Ukraine. The Russians are still, getting shellacked in certain ways and shellacking others in other ways. So it's ugly, but the Russians have not won anything. What they've paid to get what they've got, unacceptable from a military operation. Absolutely unacceptable. For Putin, the problem is that if the military believes that he is responsible ultimately for the poor performance of the military as a whole, then a coup is possible, military coup is possible in Russia. But at the moment, he's controlling all the levers, and that nothing's about to change, from what I can see anyway. But hey, you make life miserable for the families of the military members. For example, a whole bunch of soldiers come back in body bags, and the surviving widows and all the families of active military members are starving to death at home because of prices and shortages and everything else. That means you've got problems at home that you have to take care of, as well as problems in Ukraine. And one will make the other worse the longer this goes, and that's the problem. It's now coming up to 4 weeks. This is getting kind of serious. We'll see. There's only so much you can hide from your population before your population senses something isn't right. Something's not quite right here. We'll see what's going on. Anyway, that's it. What else? Uncle Bruce, have you heard that already? That SoFi CEO was buying up the stock actually on the dips. I'm thinking. I'm aware that Mr. Moto has, he has bought quite a bit of stock, and it seems that every time he gets paid, he buys a bunch more. So, yeah, he knows what's going on. We're down 71 on the Dow. We're down 0.09 of 1 point on S&P. We're off 78 points on NASDAQ. That's where we're at right here and right now. Okay. Thank you, everybody. Nice to have you here. Anyway, there you go. Folks are wondering if it's anti-American not to like monopolies. It is nothing American whatsoever. It is just, we have monopolies in Canada. There are monopolies in Europe. There's monopolies everywhere. And then you have state-run monopolies in communist countries. This is nothing new, kids. This is nothing to do with America. It's just business. It's not personal. And it's not political. It's just business. Okay, get that through here. Unfortunately, there's a lot of people out there who just can't get over the fact that a lot of stuff that's happening out there is business. They think it's political, and they think it's personal. And they're not with the program. They've lost the reality of the situation, that it's business here. Everywhere it's business. People want to get ahead, and sometimes one way to get ahead is to be in charge of the political process. Sometimes that's the best way to get ahead economically. Where in the Reagan era, Reagan wanted government out of our lives. He wanted government to be less involved in the life of Americans. That was his big shtick. That was his big running point to get America out of our lives. Now we have a lot of people out there who feel the only way to make America work for them is if they got into politics or they got their politicians more powerful or could enact legislation to make it work for them. This is different, completely opposite from 40 years ago. The opposite from 40 years ago. Interesting. Anyway, I'm just saying. Just saying. Anyway, yeah, it's just business. It's just business. It's just business. There you go. There you go. Well, everyone making their comments on America. It's all okay. I love America and I love Americans and love my American pals and viewers and obviously my European viewers, my Canadian viewers, my viewers from the Caribbean and South America and viewers from all across Europe, all across Asia. Welcome and thank you all for being here. Viewers from Taiwan and Hong Kong. So great to have you here while you're still able to be here. From down under, lovely, lovely to have you here. Love it, love it, love it. Anyway, there it is. Yeah, SoFi's coming down. Maybe I'll back off and get a little lower. Well, sometimes they go low and then they turn right around and you miss the boat. I don't know how much lower these stocks will go. If the Dow doesn't want to drop 1,000 points, we're not going down very far. And we're down 78 on the Dow. It seems to be going down very fast. Down 4.5 on S&P, down 89 on NASDAQ. These are nothing burgers right now. But, it's up to you to decide what's low and what's not anymore. Rocket Lab, 889 off 18. That's actually a bounce back. SoFi, 958 down 29 cents. GameStop now, 92.42. It won't back off. It's up 163, 91.91. Now it is backing up a bit, but still up 112. Holding in there. We're up 8 on AMC. Matterport is off 17 cents. ME is actually green now, up 2 cents. Spire down 1.5. ATIP down 0.5 penny. Make that a gain on ATIP of 0.5 penny. SmartRent is actually up a dime right now. It just popped up a little bit here. It's up to 7.12 actually, up 11 cents, near the high of the day. 68,000 though. That's all it is. Sextera down a dime at 11.31. Got down to 11.27 and 12,700 trading on Sextera. How about that? Pfizer, 54.99. Got up size 55.30. Now 54.99. Broke through the 55 support level, if there was one. We'll see how that progresses. Robinhood down 45 cents. Vanik off 2.30. Home Depot down 5.60. IBM up only 14 cents. Microsoft down 3.11. Apple only up 18 cents. Goldman down 2.79. Cisco only up 22 cents. Facebook down $6. Amazon down $13. Tesla up $22. Google down $13. Bed Bath & Beyond down 6 cents. BlackBerry up 22. Royal Caribbean down 86 cents. So some of the gainers here are weak, showing penny gains where the losers now are down dollars. I'm talking about the big stocks, FANGs and some of the Dow 30. But where we hang out, a lot of you, we're watching, penny moves, really. GameStop, though, 92.17 up 138. Hanging around. Anyway, there you go. Let's see. LL is saying, let's get Bruce over 300 thumbs ups. Can you guys actually do that? Do you guys have enough mo to get me there? We have 275 now. That would be kind of cool. If we could get 25 more thumbs ups, we'd be at 300 already. Well, thank you very much. If you can help me out there, 276 now. Hit that thumbs up button for us and let's get it going here. That'd be great. Thank you. Let's go. Can we roll back the show back to like 9 o'clock? The market was better then. gosh. What else is going on here? Mm, 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 mm. What is this here? Bradley just got 30. Uncle B, you sold me at 961. Lovely pick. Another lovely pickup for the next payday. Picking off SoFi at 961. Right on 952 at the moment. I don't know how long it'll be down here. Am I quibbling over a dime? I wouldn't. I wouldn't quibble. I just get this stuff. Just get this stuff. This move from the sevens to here is already significant, telling us there's buy had been coming in here and there's more coming. It'll be over 10 in the very near term, I think. But up to you to decide how you want to play it. GameStop up 85 cents to 91.64, so it's backing up a little bit here. GameStop today, 89 to 93 is the range. 89.70 to 93.80. You only had $4 range on the GameStop shares. We're at 92.02 right now, so jumping a boot a little bit here. Jumping a boot. We're down on all three indexes. 67 or so on the Dow, 5 on S&P, 90 on NASDAQ. Okay. Joanne, baby needs a do-over. Bobby needs a do-over. Let's go. BW, heading out for my first business trip in 2+ years. Cincinnati or bust. I hope that nothing crazy happens in the markets while I'm at 34,000 feet. BW, good luck to you, buddy. Keep smiling. Keep smiling and make it happen, baby. Beach Boy, hi, Uncle B. I got a limit to buy the calls back on the GameStop April 190s at 255. I wrote him a 605. What are your thoughts? Yeah, that's pretty cool. Put him out there. Offer to pay 255 for a contract he sold for 605. I like it. Let's give the stock a chance to have a little pullback today, and maybe it'll give you one in a couple of bucks, 3, 4, 5, 6. Who knows how much it'll do? We might have one of those markets where we meander about, we're down 70, down 30, down 70, down 30, then we're down 150, and then we go, down 50, down 200, and we're up 20. Who knows? GameStop may well touch 80 today, 83 today, could touch 85. I don't know. Let's see what happens. Whatever. Let's see. What's going on? Yeah, Olivia, time for work. Cheers. Have a super green day and all. Thank you, Bruce. You got it, Olivia. You have a great day today. We'll see if we can make money over here. We'll keep an eye on things. Down 73 on the Dow. Down 13 now on Rocket Lab. 894. Got down to 877, so that's an improvement. We got SoFi at 968 after bottoming at 946. So that's a 22-cent recovery at 968 now. 10.3 million volume on SoFi. It's coming on. Rocket Lab now, 895 as well. That's definitely coming on. 645,000 on Rocket Lab. So we're moving higher on both of those. GameStop up 186 to 92.65. AMC 1608 up 28. Matterport down 9 cents at 818. It got down to 797. Now at 816. So that's a recovery. ME is down 3 cents. The low was 367. That was the opening. We're still at 368, 369 on 432,000. Waiting to see what kind of a move we're going to get on ME. Spire down 4 to 194. This is the low of the day on 197,000. ATIP still up a half a penny. Smart Rent up 12 now to 713. Sextera down a penny, only a penny now at 1140. Got down to 1127. So Sextera seems to want to turn the corner and go higher. Okay. 89-point drop on the Dow, 6 on S&P, 94 NASDAQ, and that's it right there. That's where we're at. Rob, I'm going to need the stock to really dip below 80 to get close today, but you might be able to get them by Wednesday. The true repairman is here. How you doing, buddy? Olivia, you enjoy work today. Rob, even if it's still 90, Splayer, 50 euros, one transaction. Never mind if it's 50 euros. Why you say it have to be so far away? I'm not sure what this means. Have a good day from Splayer to Olivia too. Not sure what's going on there. Okay. Whoo-wee. Thank you all for being here today. 290 thumbs ups. Thanks, guys. Cheers to all of you. I got I was able to get some cans of caffeine-free Diet Coke. Unbelievable. They're not on sale or anything yet, so I'm kind of looking for a deal there. I'm kind of going between 2 liter bottles of this stuff and cans. I find that when we get cans, I tend to drink less of it. Mind you, I have to say with the bottles, you have to get up and go to the fridge and fill it up. That's a pain. It's a pain. So you don't drink as often, or as much of it, I guess. It is what it is. I love the brown. I love that brown fuzzy water. I like the brown fuzzy water. That's just me, kids. Thank you all for being here this morning. Appreciate this. It's great to see you guys. Uh, and hopefully we can make some money this week and pound it. Just keep on pounding the dollars. Why not? Why not? Yes. Mm. H. Gregory. So, Uncle, are you thinking 95 for a few weeks out on GameStop? I'm thinking, yeah, like GameStop was 92.88. So if you can write 95s for 3 or 4 weeks out and get your hands on a fat premium, that is the objective. So something the latter part of April, kind of. Let me see if I can make this work at all. I've got my big ass iPad here, who that just sometimes does not agree with me. I got it to agree with me now, though, so that's good. Let's take a look here a little further forward. Like, for example, yeah, like April 29s, for example. If you're writing 95s, they're showing 845 to 1240. I mean, that's a quote that is as wide as the Nile River, right? I would be looking at 12, 12 something for those. I would. I want a chunk of cash for that amount of time. If I go the week before, which is April 22, the 95s are showing 1115 on the offer, so offering at 1110 for that 1 week less, maybe. And then here I'm showing now, what is this? Okay, well, I'm showing April 14th, but for whatever reason, my April 14 quotes are inaccurate. I'm showing 90s at offered at 1085. Then I show hundreds being offered. I don't show 95, so I can't go there. But I would definitely want to go out to the 29th of April, the 22nd of April. That's where I'd be interested in hanging my hat, and I'd be looking at a 95-ish at like 1235 for the 90s, April 29th. Um, if the shares want to go to $85 a share after I write these contracts, and now that this popped through 93, I might even go up to 1295 or 1345. I'd lift the bar on this. Um, I want a fat $1,200-$1,300 cash per contract in my account now. That's what I want. I'll leave it there. I'll leave it there. It's my dry powder to buy back these calls. Now, I'd like to buy them back for $5 or $6 less as a starter. So if we see the market as at now 93, they go down to this 85 range in the next day or two or three, I think these contracts could be from like the high 12s to the mid 8s, maybe less. And there's a $5 bill here to be had in a few days. I do believe that in a week from now, with a dip, there will definitely be $6 or $7 in it, which is $1 a day. This thing I keep coming back to, that if you can earn $1 a day in depreciation on GameStop contracts, it's $100 a day per contract. Okay, you write one, it's $100 a day. So a week from today, you can score $600-$700 less to buy it back. Thank you for the $700 a week on one contract. Thank you very much. You're writing 5 or 10 contracts on GameStop. You're able to do that. Now you're talking a nice living here. If you're bringing in $1 a day, that's $1,000 a day to be holding a contract. That's where I'm at. So let's see how it goes. Time is your equalizer. the time makes you the winner in the end anyway, because even if the shares go to 100 a share and you've written 95s, they're only worth $5 book value. That's all they're worth. At the end of it all, that's all they're worth. You wrote for 12, $13. You still made money even though you were wrong. You figured the stock would stick around this level, maybe go a little lower. There would be a dip. There was never a dip. It went to 100. You still make money. That's what I like about writing options, is that you still make money if you're wrong, and you can recover capital if you're wrong on top of being wrong. It just keeps going higher and higher. You do rollovers and you will be right. Eventually, you will be correct with larger premiums, and that's how you play this game. You don't let the stock intimidate you. 94.03. Yeah, this is good. It's up 324. This is great. Great. Now, instead of writing 95s, you might write 98s, 99s, whatever. 98s might bring you $12, or 100s might bring you $11 or $12. You're looking for a fat premium on an out of the money contract wherever you can lock it in. 97 on GameStop right now, it's popping. Okay, so let it pop. It's jumping up a little bit here. Okay, GameStop, do what you want to do. Take a little shot. That's fine with me. Go. Just go. Just go. And we'll write accordingly. We will write and deal with it accordingly. Okay. Love it. The True Repairman says, hello, Uncle Bruce. I dropped my friends off at the cruise last weekend. Have you ridden on the Liberty of the Seas before? Have you been on that ship? I think it's a Royal Caribbean. Yeah, it is a Royal Caribbean ship, the Liberty of the Seas. I've been on the Explorer of the Seas. A big one. One of the big, not one of the biggest ones, but it's a big one. Yeah, I've been on those. H. Gregory, or should we wait a little longer before we write? H. Gregory, $96, $97 a share. You want to take advantage of a gain, right? So look, I'm happy it's 96. It got to 98 for a minute. 1 million shares traded. Great. It just shows me how thin this thing is. There's no selling. But look, writing 100s, is a way to go. The shares want to get more volatile. Great. That's what GameStop is known for, volatility. You want to give me $10, $15 swings in a day? Thank you very much. I'll take the high swing. I'll write. Even 3-4 weeks out. You want to back off $6, $8, $9, $10 a share? I'll buy back, because even those out there will drop $4, $5, $6 each. Yes. And I'll rewrite, buy them back, rewrite, buy them back, again and again and again. You want to give me that kind of movement? That's what I want. I don't want to make $1.50 a contract swing. I want to make $4, $5, $6 a contract swing. That's what I'm looking for. So, okay, 96.28 right now. Had a little run there. I don't know. Crazy. Let's see. Uncle Bruce, I'm thinking of planning a few deep money calls to write on. What do you recommend? Apple, Goldman Sachs, Microsoft are three right there. Cisco. There's a few right there. Make sure that when you buy the deep in the money calls, it's 90% book value, less than 10% time value. And get out there, way out there. Okay. Let's see. Yes. What else have we got here? GameStop just at 98. People noticing that a few minutes ago. See? GameStop. SoFi looks stronger than 2 weeks ago. Well, let's hope for the best. Go, baby. SoFi 960 up 27 or down 27. Come on, baby. 897 on Rocket Lab. We're only down a dime. That's all. We're down 175 on the Dow right now. Rocket Lab got up to 921 this morning. We're now at 896 after bottoming at 877. So go Rocket Lab. 959 on SoFi. The low of the day was 946. Go SoFi, go. GameStop 95.18, backing up a little bit. All right. I moved my stink offer just in time on those 95s for Friday. Right on, Rob. Let's see. Are we back to green 2 days tomorrow? Cody, feels like last March GameStop may run till Wednesday. Inder, April 29, 95, got hit at 1240. Uncle B, right on. 1240. Well done. Now, put in a stink bid at 705. Yeah, what's wrong with that? You never know. We're at right now. GameStop is 95.10 up 432. Rock and roll, baby.
Rock and roll.
Jen is here. We're rocking with Jen, the new channel. Rocking with Jen.
Rockin' with Jen. Yeah, that's me all over.
Oh, that's Jen. That's Jen. That's what Jen's all about. Rocking with Jen. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Her favorite rock and roll stars, Garth Brooks and
That's right.
Toby Keith and
I grew up with two kinds of music, country and western.
Jim Reeves.
Johnny Horton.
Look that up on your Google
Slim
and smoke
Whitman.
it. Slim Whitman. Oh, if the Russians ever come, not the Russians, if the Martians ever come to invade,
I got you.
put on your Slim Whitman albums. You'll be fine. You'll be safe.
Loretta Lynn.
Loretta Lynn. Rocking with Loretta
Brenda
Lynn.
Lee, Patsy Cline, Honky Tonk Angels, baby. It wasn't God that made the Honky Tonk Angels. Throw a little Katie Lang in there and you gotta force it.
Look out! Look out! Oh man. There's a lot of Jens out there. You know, we went out on Saturday, Jen and I. We did something we rarely do together. I mean, really.
I know, you usually don't come.
Yeah.
I do it more than you do.
Yeah. She does this more than I do this. We got a call from our daughter asking, "Hey, you guys want to get together with us? We're gonna be
Now,
hanging out."
to be fair, their plans had been canceled, so they were open.
We were Plan B. Okay, Mom and Dad are Plan B.
On
Okay,
a Saturday night, I should hope so.
Yeah. Okay. So that's not all right. So our 33-year-old daughter decided, we had some plans with friends that all fell through. I know. Let's call my mom and dad. So they invited us out to a beer garden,
It's a brewery.
a brewery here in town on Saturday. It was a beautiful day. It was a high 50s,
beautiful.
sunny.
Everybody in Calgary was outside.
Everybody got out to get some
It was
fresh
so
air.
busy.
We've had the masks, the mandate lifted, and the cases are plummeting here. So open it up. So we went to this beer garden that probably held 200 people inside the hall, the beer hall, and then another 200 people outside on
Beer tables.
beer tables and what have you.
But what's the best thing about this place?
What's the best thing about this place? You can bring your dog.
And some people bring a cat.
Very few.
Yeah.
But people brought their dog. They're walking with their dogs.
Because it's a brewery.
And it's a brewery. Only beer, no food. You can't buy food. You can actually order a pizza to the brewery and eat your pizza.
You can bring in your own.
You can bring in your own food, but you can't buy food in it. Just beer only.
No one had any problems with you bringing in your own caffeine-free Diet Coke.
I brought in a couple of cans. I'm sucking on this because I don't drink. So I'm sucking on this. So this is why I rarely do this. I really rarely go out. I figured we would just be out for a couple hours hanging out at the beer garden and just socializing with my daughter and her boyfriend. But no. They decided, well, let's go and have a bite to eat for dinner. Okay. So we ended up going to one place was full, went to another place and sat down and had some bar food. Again, something
Those dried ribs, though.
I really rarely
those
do
are
this.
good.
They ordered some dry ribs, and I ordered a roast beef on a bun.
And Guinness tastes like Guinness no matter where you go.
Jen and the kids got Guinness. I had to have Diet Pepsi at this place, but okay, I'll survive. And then we chomped on some cheap bar food.
Yeah, and
wasn't that cheap.
Some friends came in and like, oh, what are you guys doing here? And oh, is that Bruce?
Got recognized. Yeah, one of my daughter's friends went, "Hey, Uncle Bruce is here." Turns out he watches Uncle Bruce. How you doing, man? How's it going? That was kind of cool. So kind of got noticed.
I had met him before, actually at this same brewery, but not you.
Right, because it's the first time I've ever been there.
Yeah.
Jen loves to go out drinking.
I love to go out.
She loves to go
I'm
out.
a party animal.
She's a party girl. I generally try to save her from herself.
Yes.
Not easily done sometimes. I get squawk.
I'm way better as I get older.
I
am not that girl anymore.
That girl.
You don't want to be that girl.
Yeah, you don't want to really
No.
be that
No, not
girl.
that girl.
Yeah, yeah. I probably have extended your liver's life by quite a
Do you
number
think
of
so?
decades through all the years that
By
I've
just
holding you
and
down.
I'm better now. I have spacers. You got and I notice now that who is it? It might be Captain Morgan or it might be a whiskey company. In their ads, tell you how it's time to have a drink of water. You gotta have a spacer.
Some beer
You
companies do
gotta
that
have
too.
water between each alcohol to give your liver a
Yeah,
break.
probably right. Right. Probably good
Yeah,
idea.
yeah. Have spacers, man. They'll save your life.
Splair says, "Good morning, Jen."
Good morning.
Cody
Good
says,
morning.
"Cheers, Rob." Jen's up. Rob, rocking and curling with Jen.
That's
That's right,
right.
because the ladies are
Oh,
playing.
the
The ladies
ladies.
are on TV now for their
Oh,
World Championships.
our Canadian team is just bipolar.
500.
They're
They're
awesome.
3-3.
They suck.
They're good. They're bad.
After her last rock, our skip just looked to the heavens and started laughing. It was so. It was the worst throw she could have made. She couldn't have made it if she had tried.
John Anderson.
And so
Jen.
the other team stole 4.
Oh, just
So and that's when they just called it a day.
Sassy is saying, "Get that woman a karaoke machine." John Anderson. What about no show Jones? What about no show Jones? I don't know what that means.
No show Jones.
Paul, Uncle Bruce,
like
call.
George Jones? Is that?
Yeah, Uncle Bruce, call. I have no idea. Saying that we're going to a stag fleet. I have no idea what's going on. Scott, I'm 42 years old. I have 2 little kids. Bruce, this story sounds exhausting.
See,
We
now
were
you just hope when they get to be of legal age and start going to the bar for the very first time that they will enjoy having their parent along with them to have a conversation.
Gotta say,
We had a great time.
all of Jennifer Jr.'s pals were coming by where we were sitting and coming up to go, "How are you guys doing? It's your mom and dad." They were happy to see us.
Absolutely.
We weren't being avoided. We were actually attracting her friends over to say hi.
And I pointed out to Jen Jr. that there were other people at the brewery. Their mom was with them as well.
True.
Yes.
That's true.
But it's really hard just to get past the dogs. I'm always amazed just how well behaved, because if there's 100 people there, there's 80 dogs.
Yeah.
Like there's an every size.
They're all on
shape
leashes and all behaved and all being monitored. And if the dog got out of line, the owner would take him out.
Yeah, but it's
still,
these dogs just are delirious to see all these other dogs.
True.
Want to play? Want to play? Want to play? Want to play?
That's true. Splair saying in Dortmund we have a brewery, Bergman. At least they have a food truck daily. Someone else.
Well, there usually are food trucks that park outside.
Yeah, thought this was an American trend, but brewery beer is great. At least to try one can be interesting.
And they got the little growlers. You can take it home.
That's true. I know that Dortmund used to have 7 or more breweries at one time. My cousin lives in Dortmund, but
you're making it sound like he attends every one of them.
No,
on a regular basis.
He told me the history of Dortmund. That it was a beer brewing city. It was known for brewing lots of beers. Now there's really only one multinational kind of left.
Yeah.
And it's not the same. But here in Calgary, micro breweries are showing up. This one that we went to, a micro brewery.
I don't know if they call themselves a micro.
They're not big.
We have micro breweries where it's part of a restaurant and they only have 2 vats.
Yeah, but this one is maybe 6.
This one has,
this
one has won awards.
This is still micro, but nonetheless, very, very.
We have some really good beer here because we got good rye, we got good grains.
There you go.
Yeah.
Bash, did you find out if this friend is a Gold Bagel member? The person that said hi to me the other day.
No, I think they're lurkers.
Yeah, I have a lot of lurkers out there who occasionally will become members, but it is what it is. Good morning, Jen from Duncan. Bobby, a damn hindsight should have wrote on Friday. Well, stink in until next Friday. Paul, economists say they were right going to hit stagflation. What are your thoughts? I don't know if they're going to hit stagflation.
I haven't even looked. What's the market doing today?
We're down 158 on the down. Nothing much. Uncle Bruce, as a Canadian, is there any advantage to trading on the TSX instead of the US exchanges. No, no, there's no exchange, there's no advantages.
There used to
The
be arbitrageurs years back, but
no,
boy, you're going after pennies.
no. Liquidity is where you want what you
Yeah.
want, and that's U.S. market.
Yeah.
My next pair, Uncle Bruce and Jen doing cake stands at the bar. They gave me Jen gave me a little glass, a taster glass. And she try this, try this. I had a little sip. I gave it back. What do you think? I said, well, it tastes like beer. Yeah, but what about this? I go, I
Tastes
don't
like
drink
beer.
this stuff. It's
Yeah.
just beer to me. It's like I'm a Diet Coke guy, and that's sorry, that's all I am.
I know, and I think we
It's
gave
boring.
you the Radler that a Radler or a lager you have when we were in Germany. You drink them.
I would drink. I drink a pilsner in Berlin, but when in Berlin, you know. But I would also have like schnitzel and sauerkraut and home fried potatoes and a beer, not just drinking beer for the sake of drinking beer. It was part of a meal package thing, you know. Germany, when in Germany, you know.
There you
But
go.
that's just.
So when we go to Italy, will you drink wine?
I don't know.
I can't see you stepping that far off the
France,
line.
France.
France.
What are we
wine?
doing? We're thinking of going to Switzerland. That's beer. Austria, Switzerland. That would be beer
See,
too.
more beer.
Sparkling wines, maybe.
Yeah.
I'm not buying any Lederhosen, and Jen will not be buying a Dirndl. No,
No,
we won't be doing
No,
that.
we've had our dirndl later.
We did that.
days.
We did that in the 20s or our 20s, so we long ago passed that.
And we had beautiful ones. My dirndl was beautiful. Your mom
My
made
mom
me a beautiful dress.
Manufactured phenomenal dirndls.
We
Yeah.
used to wear it for Halloween. We would be Hansel and Gretel.
We did that one year.
No, I've worn it a couple of years at least.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure you were with me.
I know that after a few years of being together, I didn't fit in the Lederhosen anymore because she fattened me up so that no
Yeah.
other woman would find me attractive other than
Is that it?
yeah.
That
yeah.
was my
She-
strategy.
She was checking my thumb
that
to
was
make
my
sure I was
plan.
nice and fat and I wasn't going anywhere.
There's your Hansel and Gretel.
See?
Let me check that thumb.
She's the witch.
That's it.
I'm the innocent.
You're the innocent little boy who stumbled down the wrong path.
My mother was so sad when she took me away.
Yes. Yes. Yep.
What can I say? It is what it is. It's family history. There's nothing you can do. Okay, I should talk to you about a bagel. What kind of bagel should I have?
No. What's it?
I'm
gonna
thinking
be?
cheese whiz.
Cheese whiz?
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm thinking unless you're up for making me another one of those cheddar bagels.
Was that good? You like the
Oh,
cheddar?
man, that was
Yeah.
awesome.
We can do that.
Maybe I'll cheddar bagel.
So now that we've
Really
opened the
melted
package,
in.
you should eat it pretty
Yeah, and then nuke that sucker and it's just stringy.
And the knife and fork helped?
No, I just ate it
Oh, okay.
without.
Okay.
It was it was a struggle, but it was a good struggle.
You didn't get that hot cheese stuck on your palate?
Did I get that hot cheese stuck? No, I don't think I did. No, I think I survived it.
That's the thrill
was
of hot
fine.
cheese.
The thrill of hot cheese.
Okay, I'm out of here.
Okay, Jen, thank you so much. So appreciated.
We'll get
Go get them, Ray. We're down 192 on the Dow. Unfortunately, we're down 16 on S&P. We're down 162 on the Nasdaq. We have to find out what kind of a sell-off we're going to get today on these markets to verify whether we had a dead cat bounce in a bear market or we have had a correction and we're going to pull out of this correction now and we're going to go higher. This is what we need to know. And, let the market kind of give it an hour or two to show us what it's got in mind. 193 points is hardly a disaster. I mean, gained 2,000 last week. So we can reverse this in 15 minutes, as we all are aware. So let's see what's going on. Anyway, there you go. Bergman is not bigger than the two houses next to each other. But the good beer part is really and sadly gone with the money from the mining corporations that were sold to China. That's right. There were some steel mills in Dortmund, mining companies. They all got bought up, mainly the steel mills, and then the breweries all consolidated. But a lot of China money came into Dortmund in the 90s and the 2000s. Dortmund is not the same anymore as it once was. But it's a beautiful city today. Pretty nice place. Johnny Unger was just joining this morning. Any GameStop covered call right recommendations? Well, on a surge, you want to do rights. I've been saying that if you're going to write options on GameStop, I'm recommending you go 3 or 4 weeks out and take in a huge premium. I want to see viewers taking in $12 and $13 premiums or more on out of the money contracts 3 or 4 weeks ahead. That's what I'm looking for. That way, you're giving a lot of slack to the stock. So if the shares want to go higher, you're not in trouble because you've got such a fat premium in your pocket right now that will depreciate as the time goes through. That is your insurance policy against a disastrous right. And so that's what I've been saying. So we did hit 98 for like a nanosecond this morning. I don't know why it did that. It's now 92.07 up 128. The Dow is off 175. So maybe that's putting some pressure on GameStop to not take off at the moment. I don't know. If the stock wants to go to 96, 98, you can write 100s for 3 weeks out, 4 weeks out. Otherwise, look at 95s, 96s, 97s, 98, 99s, write them and take in fat premiums, and then look for $4 to $5, $6 pullbacks for trades where you buy back calls, let it come back up, write them again, comes off $5, $6 a contract, buy them back, goes back up, write them again. Shares trading the same equity? No, but there are advantages to the trading in Canadian companies if you like that are primarily listed on the TSX in terms of avoiding foreign currency exchange and costs. Nicholas, are we going to get the markets live from Oktoberfest? Oh, well, if we're there, but yes, of course. Dave, the Mac guy, thanks. Dave, Shiz, as a fellow Canadian, you can also open U.S.-funded TFSA's RSPs where you trade, keep in U.S. dollars, and then pull it out when it's best for you, or just spend it in the U.S. when we travel. There's that, too. Options for Canadians, quite a few. Dow down 195, S&P down 15, NASDAQ down 152. On a percentage basis, the NASDAQ is the weak performer. It's down 1.1%, as I figured it would be the weakest performer. It had the greatest up move last week in percentage terms. We're down 0.58 on the Dow and 0.38 on S&P. So the big loser is the NASDAQ, down 1.1%. Oil is still climbing. It's up $6, 617 to 110.87. There was a report a couple of days ago or over the weekend that Saudi Arabia was looking to increase production somewhat. I just don't think there's a shortage. I really don't think there's any shortages anywhere on earth. In any event, we'll see what happens. The Dow now officially off 200 points right now. Rocket Lab is at 890. It's down 16, 17 cents. The low was 877. That was this morning, about 20 minutes into the market. We're just under a million shares traded now on Rocket Lab. SoFi is at 938. The low of the day, 933. We're right here. We're down 49 cents on 15 million. Not a lot of volume on this down dip. GameStop 92.68, only up $1.89 now. AMC is only up 1 penny. Now Matterport 798, dropped at 788 was the low. That's how low it got. We're off 30 odd cents on 1.8 million. ME is actually unchanged, sitting at 372 right now. It dropped down to 365 and a half. Volume now 780,000. It just went green. It looks like it's up about a penny, almost a penny to 373 or so. Spire down 2 cents to 196. Got as low as 193. 259,000 traded. ATIP. ATIP at the moment is 180, up a penny. That's all on 172,000. And then Smart Rent is 712, up a dime on 151,000. They got down to 689. It's now 179 and a half on ATIP, up a half a penny. Smart Rent 712, up 10, and Xterra down 19 at 1122, and the low was 1116. 26,000 volume. That's it. The Dow's down 204 at the moment. Again, not a big shiny spirit. Yeah, give it 5 years and it's great tourist magnet with a Hilton hotel in front of the lake. It's built by humans, not for swimming in it. This is the artificial lake in Dortmund that's been built in lieu of what used to be a steel plant, big factory. Hey, Uncle Bruce, is a bear hug a real thing? Or is it that Hollywood nonsense? Asking because, like you said, it seems like we're seeing more acquisition talk. Yeah, I this bear hug thing, I wouldn't believe any kind of a term like that. Uh, Dave, the Mac guy. I know dividends get dinged 15% in a TFSA on U.S. stocks, but not on an RSP. I wasn't sure if there was any other things to watch out for. Yeah, Canadians, you have to get your own tax advisory from your own professional based on your tax situation. You got to figure it out for yourself. Same in the U.S. I don't give tax advice because I'm just not that qualified a guy for that. Certain states are better for certain kinds of investments than other states are. Certain states will allow you more deductions on certain kinds of investments you might make. Certain states might allow you to run a corporate entity to be self-employed um, with generous write-offs. Again, you got to figure that out for yourself. That's why there are advisors out there. That's what they do. It's their gig. I'm not able to help you there. Same in Canada. Same in the UK. In Britain, Germany, Europe, wherever. It's all there. Oh, thank you, Jen,
Very
so
hot.
much, so
Great.
much, so much. We got us a bagel slathered with strips
That's a
of
little hard
real
on a plate.
medium cheddar cheese that Jen has. First, she toasted the bagel, then she nuked it to melt the cheese into and onto the bagel. Look at the bottom of that bagel. Oh, that sucker is that is a sesame seed bagel, toasted and now nuked. So it's a bit spongy, but oh, it's dripping in real, actual cheddar cheese, not that petroleum byproduct we're known for either. Anyway, there you go. Six there. Earnings tomorrow, says William. Well, let's hope for the best there, my friend. And Cody, cool. Thanks for answering a silly question. No problem, but no problem at all. Thank you all for being here. Love having you. 193 is a down dip right now on the Dow. Let me just take a look. How many thumbs ups do we have now? Oh, 314. Thank you, everybody. And Munimo, thank you for these thumbs ups. I appreciate this. Uh, Giddy up, you guys. Let's hope for some big time movements here. I'm going to chop this bagel. Hopefully, that'll move the market higher too. Let's hope so. I think Smart Rent earnings are next week as well, or this week. Can't confirm. I'm at the workshop right now. Dave, that's probably why I keep my options trading in my TFSA and I hold my long holds, dividend generating stocks in my RRSP. There's ways to do this. Absolutely. All right, let's see what happens here. Uncle Bruce is grabbing the bagel. Look at the cheese on that bagel. Oh, baby. Oh, the real deal, babe. The real deal. Oh, man. Mm, mm, mm. Mm. So good. So good. Thank you all for being here today. Mm. Mm. Let's see if we get these markets to go up. We'll bring out the neat emojis. Neat, neat, neat. From Monty Python. Here we go. Angleberries. Neat, neat, neat. And markets can't help but go up now because once we bring out the neat emojis, all heck breaks loose on the markets. It's only a matter of time. Thank you all for participating. Nice to have you here. Look at that. Dow's only down 178 now. Here it goes. Let's go higher, baby. Thank you, Rob. Moonamo, thank you. Here come the neat emojis. Cred Savage. So, Uncle Bruce, Evergrande, the Chinese real estate company, has $2.3 billion they must pay by Wednesday, and they are looking like they're going to default. I think this will affect the market. If the interest rate is to the domestic market, they'll find a way around it. If the interest is due to foreigners, we're going to find out. I don't know if it'll affect the global market that much. Mm. Rob, bagels and knee emojis? Oh, boys and girls, this is the start of a mother of all short squeezes thing. Here we go. Okay, Apple, it's time to go back up, says Dave the Mac guy. Neat, neat. DQ's giving us neat. Here's some more neat emojis. Here we go, baby. Neat emojis. We're going higher. Up we go, babe. Neat, 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 neat. Rocket Lab down only 16 cents. Come on, let's go. Oh boy. It's the bagel bounce. We're down 172. We're going higher. Scott Brewer. Happy Monday, y'all. I just pulled a hot 1,000 buyback and selling cash secured puts on that GameStop spike. What a great start. More, please. Thank you. Love you, Uncle Bruce. Way to go, buddy. Let's see what happens, baby. Woohoo! Neat, 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 neat. We're down 159. We're going higher, baby. We're going higher now. 890 on Rocket Lab. Let's go. Biden to hand out $500 stimulus checks for people making less than 300 grand a year bi-weekly. Just saw on Bloomberg. Let's go. Universal income for everybody. Let's go. What a great idea. What a great idea. Who deserves money? Americans do. Mm. You know what that's going to do to the market? The market goes higher. Stimulus checks in people's hands. Guess where some of that money goes? What stocks do people buy when they get $500 stimulus checks? Do they buy Berkshire Hathaway stock? Or do they buy GameStop? SoFi? Sextera? Think about it. Yep. Mm. Oh my. It's priced in, Cody. It's priced in. Going hard. Awesome. I was feeling that way about the Ukraine thing, Bruce, but I haven't been trading long enough to watch the market go through as something like this. Yeah. Yeah, I think it's already priced in, buddy. No idea, Bobby. I don't follow BlackBerry on a corporate level. I don't know where they're at. I just quote the stock because it's one of those meme stocks. That's all I do. Oh, this goes so good. Oh, man. Fantastic. Oh, boy. So good. Thank you, everybody. Mm. We're down 177 on the Dow, 7.8 on S&P, 109 on NASDAQ. Well, not doing too bad. Now, I got a question for you guys. Uh, for those of you in the United Kingdom who are watching me here, either live or on rerun, the question is, Jen and I want to go over there. We want to go to Europe for a trip, and we're thinking of flying into London, and we're thinking of being in the London area for about maybe 4 or 5 days. Uh, we'd like to we'd like to get some accommodation, in the city. We don't want to be in the outskirts. We don't have wheels. Jennifer, can't walk very far. So we'd like to grab a hotel, near the sites kind of thing. Um, I was looking up for fun yesterday on Expedia, Travelocity, and just whatever hotels that would happen to have a pool and a hot tub, like a spa. But I'm noticing a lot of these hotels, they say they have these things, but they don't. They are affiliated with a spa, or we're next door to one. Not everybody has one. But I'm curious, where can we stay with like a nice quality place, nothing stupidly priced, not the Savoy. Where can we? Where should we stay? What kind of hotel should we grab? If we can't find a spa pool facility, can we find a hotel that has the room will come with a jetted spa tub, perhaps, that's in the room, for relief of aches and pains and walking around? Kind of curious. Anybody have any thoughts on that? Let me know. And also, where should we stay in Glasgow? Where should we stay in Edinburgh? We're thinking of visiting those two cities for a couple of nights each, at least. And we're wondering, where should we consider staying? Anybody have any ideas on that? Let us know. We'd appreciate it. Okay? Okay. Anyway, Credit Savage. I just got two alerts on my phone from Chuck Schwab. One, SoFi is up 10% today, really. And the second one, SoFi is down 5% today. SoFi is becoming GameStop. Oh my gosh, it's at 950, down 36 cents. That's where I got SoFi. The low was 933. We're now at 950 on 17.2 million. So you tell me what it's doing. Nucio, Uncle Bruce, when would think is a good to do call secured put and dollar price on SoFi? It's got to go higher. It's got to go higher, and I'll let you know, but not yet. The market reacted on the bagel finisher with a 4 cent climbing on SoFi. Rob pushing 95 on GameStop again, 94.53. Here we go. Um, sorry, I meant a $7 cash secured put on SoFi. When would be a good time to do this? I would not do a $7. Would not do a $7 cash secured put on SoFi. Would not do that. Rob says stay at a distillery. Rob, credit average credit coach SoFi will be $90 one day. One day. Uncle Bruce, think it'll be smart to sell a $90 cash secured put on GameStop for 3 weeks out and get $675 for it, or it would be smarter to just stink bid, buy 100 more shares at 89 and sell covered calls right away. There you go. See, your upside on the cash secured put is only $675. That's all it'll be. And that won't be locked in until the third week. Where if you buy the stock cheap and write a call, but between now and 3 weeks from now, you could easily make more than $6 in premiums on a couple of rollovers, a couple of rights, buybacks. So that might be the better way to go, Bobby. So will I, Rob, laughing out loud. Rob, I hope so. I have $5,000 SoFi and still trying to get 5,000 more. Scooping up that stock, but picking it up. 950 last trade on SoFi. Rocket Lab 894 down 13. The Dow's down 155. GameStop 94.72 up 393. AMC at 16.18 up 37, holding a gain. Matterport 814 down 13. The low on Matterport 788. We're at 814. Nice, 815, moving higher. ME is up 1.5 cents to 373 and a half. The low was 365. We're approaching a million shares. Spire 198 unchanged. We're back, baby. We're back from 193 and a half. Unchanged. ATIP 179 and a half, up a half a penny. Kind of hanging around this 180 level. It seems to be held at the 179 level, but restricted to the 180 level. I'm kind of getting that vibe right now. Smart Rent 722 up 21 cents. Smart Rent climbing again on 186,000. We're going higher on Smart Rent. 722. Here we go. Cyxtera down only 12 cents, 11.26. Pfizer down 3 now, negative. It's at 54.48. Spire has gone negative. The low of the day, 54.09. We're at 54.48 and backing up right now. Interesting on Pfizer today. Interesting. If we break under the 54 barrier, we are in a fall position to the 53, 52.50 range, because we've had a support level at 54 here, holding for a while. We'll be watching that on Pfizer. 54.50 right now, unchanged. We'll see what happens. Rob, come on, markets go up. I need to buy plywood. Lucio, I'd wait for the next pullback. Say when Russia uses the first nuclear bioweapon in Ukraine, or when Russia starts something with Poland the next month. Markets will be red. Next rate hike, 2%. Oh, ye of pessimistic faith. The Dow is down 160. It's coming back a bit. Rocket Lab 982 for SoFi, 946. GameStop 94.26. Matterport 807. ME up 1.5. Spire down a half a penny. ATIP up a penny, 180. Smart Rent up 20 cents. Pfizer down a penny, 54.50. Cyxtera down 15 cents. Interesting stuff here. 153 down dip on the Dow. A little better again. A little better again. We're down 447 on S&P. We're down 94 on NASDAQ at the moment, everyone. Thank you all so much for being here. Nice to see you all here today. 152 down dip on the Dow Jones. Um, Oil still at 110 a barrel, up 591 today. There you go. Mm, 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 mm. Lots to keep an eye on here in this market, for sure. Lots to keep an eye on here. Pfizer just turned around, went up 4 cents. It's going to be an interesting battle with Pfizer and the markets in general. We may we may have a bit of a recovery on the Dow to this -100 range and then back off again. We could be wavy for a couple of days. We'll see. 140 down dip right now on the Dow. 2.6 on S&P, Nasdaq down 86. A little recovery is coming into this market right now. A little recovery. We'll see how much oomph it has behind it. We'll find out for sure. Let's see some headlines around the world here. Over in the Wall Street Journal, they're talking about how Ukraine has rejected a Russian ultimatum on the city of Mariupol. Fighting reaches city streets. Ukraine says art school where hundreds were sheltering was hit by a bomb. Let's see. The number of refugees now fleeing Ukraine is approaching 3.5 million. The United Nations says that they estimate more than 10 million people have been forced from their homes by the war. Most of the refugees are women and children and have arrived in Poland. Some 500,000 have gone to Romania. Well, let's see here. There's that story out there about the Boeing aircraft that crashed in China with 132 passengers, unfortunately. The hearings are happening today for Ketanji Brown, the new Supreme Court nominee. Um, mm, 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 mm. Oh, China Evergrande halts trading in its stocks. They were suspended pending release of inside information. That's come out now. Women are winning the biggest pay raises from U.S. labor boom, says a survey. Foxconn, which makes Apple products, running at capacity in Shenzhen after COVID-19 restrictions have been lifted. Justice Clarence Thomas is hospitalized with a flu-like infection. Gee, I wonder what that is. Uh, mm, mm, mm. Lots of stuff going on. Wall Street Journal says that homes earned more for owners than their jobs last year. That's right. That is something I have been talking about here now for months and months and months, where a lot of Americans and Canadians and others in other countries have realized they've had more of a gain in their personal wealth from their homes than from their savings or from their incomes. Zillow Home Value Index, which estimates the value of the typical U.S. home, that rose 19.6% in 2021 to 321,634, an increase of 52,667 from 2020. That figure was slightly higher than what the median U.S. full-time worker earned, which was about $50,000 before taxes. So the house has gone up 52 grand. The average employee in America makes 50 grand ish. And there you go. Now, obviously, some houses only went up 20, 30,000. Others went up 80,000, 200,000, and beyond. So obviously, it all depends on where you're at. That marked the first time, by the way, that the annual nationwide dollar growth for a typical home value exceeded the inflation adjusted median pre tax income, according to a Zillow analyst, which goes back to the year 2000. This is a 22-year review, and it's the first time ever. Wow. Collectively, U.S. homeowners with mortgages gained more than, are you ready for this? $3.2 trillion in equity in 2021 compared with a year earlier, according to the housing data. So in 1 year, American homeowner values increased by $3.2 trillion in 1 year. California, it's the widest, where homes are the highest priced in the nation. San Diego, a typical home gained about $160,000. San Diego, typical worker earned about 55 grand, said Zillow. So that's almost triple the annual salary growth. Median sales San Diego County rose to 800,000 in February, up 17.5% from a year earlier, according to San Diego Association of Realtors. There's a quote here saying, "I have people who call up and say, I qualify for a $350,000 to $400,000 mortgage. What can I do?" There's not much anything we can do in the city of San Diego for anyone in that situation. It's too tough. Can't get a house. Too much money. On the other hand, metro areas where last year's home value increase was less than the median income included Chicago, Washington, D.C., Philadelphia, and Detroit. Very interesting. These are interesting stats. Again, it confirmed to me what I've been talking about now with a lot of you for almost a year. Certainly in the last 6 months, 8 months, I've really talked to you about this. How home values have increased in the last several years so much that many of you out there have been able to take advantage of low interest rate financing through home refinancings or lines of credit backed up by your real estate value. Your home equity loans that you've taken. You've been able to do renovations. You've been able to reconsolidate all your debts. You've taken the car loan off the books. You've gotten rid of credit card IOUs. You've taken care of student loans that are outstanding. Whatever you've wanted to rearrange, you've rearranged financially at much lower interest cost on a 10 or 15-year line of credit, whatever kind of deal you did, whether you took a second mortgage for 10 or 15 years, whether you refinanced your house, your mortgage came up for renewal, and you did a brand new refi where you used to owe 200,000 on your house, now you owe 350 on your house, but it's a $700,000 house, and your mortgage payments at 350 are, $1,500 a month, where your individual loan payments and your mortgage were $2,800 a month. You've lowered your cost of living by $1,300 a month by doing this move. Now, a number of you, of course, have found that by listening to me and taking my classes on my website, stockmarketswithbruce.ca, you figured out I can option right. Why don't I borrow 100 grand on my line of credit for my house? This is nothing burger. And why don't I pick up $100,000 worth of deep in the money call options on 3 or 4 different stocks, 5 different stocks, all high-end companies like Apple, Microsoft, Goldman. I'll write poor man covered calls, like Bruce suggests, against these issues. I'll bring in more income from that premium, those premiums, than the payment that I have. I mean, the payment is a joke, $1,500 a month. This is a nothing burger, or whatever the payment is, $100,000 increase in a line of credit at 3.5%. I mean, we're talking $3,000 a year interest. That's $250 a month in interest. How much depreciation do you need on a contract to pay a $250 interest payment on a $100,000 loan? This is a nothing burger. I mean, obviously, there are some of you who are using $100,000 to bring in six, eight, 10,000 a month in income from writing options, and you're throwing the bank 5,000 a month. I mean, you're knocking that 100 grand off as fast as you can, so that you own that 100 grand outright from the bank. Way to go! Others of you are living off of some of that kind of cash. Some of you have changed job situations because of that kind of cash. I mean, it's all different. There's a million possibilities here, and I'm excited for all of you, of course, who've been able to take this and run. Fantastic. Anyway, it's amazing. It's just absolutely amazing. Um, the best thing about this kind of a thing is that you didn't cause the reaction of the market. You didn't make your house go up this much money. This is the world in which we live. And for some of you who are in your late 40s and early 50s, you have seen equity price increases on your house, your homes. You've seen increased values on your homes so much that it actually is 3 or 4 or 5 years your annual salary before tax has happened. And this has changed the thinking about your future, immediate future, dramatically, because you were hoping to save 10,000 a year off of your 80,000 a year salary, 100,000 a year salary, whatever that is. You were hoping to save 1,000 a month maybe for the next 5 years or 10 years, and have another 120,000 saved up on top of whatever you save. And your house has gone up $200,000 in 2 years. Right now, that's stopped everything in its tracks, where you've now reassessed yet again your future to say, wait a minute. We have in this house 400, 500, 700, 800,000 equity in this house. Plus what we've been saving and IRAs and 401ks. We have over 1.2 million, and we're in our late 40s. We could make changes now that were unthinkable 5 years ago, absolutely unthinkable. And one of those changes is the possibility of RVing for full time for a while, or selling this house and downsizing into something smaller, somewhere else we would rather be living. And what we buy wherever we're going to is cash, mortgage free, no mortgage. We've just lowered our cost of living again because of this equity increase. All of a sudden, you're looking at, instead of a $6,000 a month cost of living, or five or whatever, you're looking at a $3,000 or a $2,000 cost of living, because there's no mortgage involved here. There's no mortgage. You've paid off all debts that you had. They're all gone. All those payments are gone. All of a sudden, this cost of living has just gone down, 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 down. And the two of you, or empty nesters that you are, or about to be, or what have you be, whatever you are, you're realizing that one salary is that plus earning money on this money. We're semi-retired now. We're going to travel. We're going to be. You may find that you are an employee of yourself. You're self-employed, but you're mobile, and you're traveling to Europe, and you're taking your work with you in a computer. And you're going to spend a month in Greece. You're going to spend a month in Italy or two. You're going to spend a month in Spain, and then you're going to come back to the States or wherever for 3 months, 6 months, and then you're going to go to Asia or Australia, and you're working from an Airbnb you're renting from wherever, a month at a time, here and there and here and there, traveling the world, seeing the world, culture, food, people you never met before. Yeah, the great discovery is on, and if I'm in any way able to help you get there through writing options, well, making me feel pretty good. I'm pretty excited for you. So neat stuff. Yeah, really neat stuff. This is really something. Anyway, thank you, everybody. Congratulations to all of you who are in that kind of a situation. It's all good. GameStop, where are we at? 94.26 right now. It's trying. Hey, Uncle Bruce, what do you think about starting to cover Bed Bath and Beyond? RC buying in on top of Reddit interest sets it up to be a lot like GameStop. The street may consider the success of one be indicative of the other. Cody, again, I'm the company's deep in debt. They've got a lot of other issues out there. There are competing groups trying to control this thing. Um, I just am not convinced that it's the winner it could be. I think GameStop has been so totally rearranged and so totally restructured that it is set for success. It is built to succeed. They're not going to get waylaid with high interest rates on debts. They don't have inventory problems that they can't supply. They can't supply their stores with inventory. They don't have that problem. They're not in an issue where they can't deliver items through their e-commerce business. I think the fungible token, the NFT business, is going to be huge for GameStop. It's going to take them a few years to fully mature it out, but boy, I think they could do really well with that. But I don't know about. I need to see more on Bed Bath Beyond before I'm convinced. Uncle Bruce, my older clients have been asking me what I'm buying, and I tell them about SoFi, even though they have no interest in becoming a SoFi customer. They all want the stock. I think they see the writing on the wall. Yeah, I believe it. It's the way it's going, man. Smoke Dog, entire generations are getting screwed on buying a home. A real sad state in this world. Cody, I'd love to know if you think the company is undervalued here. No opinion, Cody. I really don't. Yeah, Cody, it's getting to the point where unless you inherit one, good luck. Credit Savage, that's true, Uncle B. Here in the San Francisco Bay Area, homes are up 30% in 1 year in some areas. It's crazy. Our neighbors moved and they got a 1.5 million for their house, a home they bought for 475 in '05, 17 years ago. $1 million gain on a house. There you go. That changes people's retirement plans. That advances it. Maybe it takes a 42-year-old up to the 55-year level, 58-year level. They're not yet there, but they're awful darn close. And yeah, they sell, they cash in, they move to where they can buy a house for 500 grand. And, they had a couple hundred grand owing on the old one. They got 800,000 equity. They're putting that 800,000 to work, and they're working, instead of two mom and dad working full time each, there's only one working full time, or both working part time now. They can completely change their lives, really change their lives. It's exciting. Zed, Uncle Bruce, I have 300 GameStop waiting to write. What do you think I should write? A put? No, no, you're going to write calls. You're going to write calls on your GameStop. But I would like you to look at writing 95s or 96s or 97s for late April. So April, 20, whatever, 2018's April 25, something like that. Look to bring in 12 plus dollars in money. Bring in some serious premium on an out of the money contracts. So if you can write 3 contracts that are 12.50 a piece, that's 37.50 US that you're bringing into your account. Okay, you offer the contracts at a not at the bid, but at the offer less than nickel. Stay out there and bring in that kind of cash into your account now, and just let it sit there. Just wait. And this stock wants to fluctuate to 85, 95. Wants to go between that level. You will buy back those calls for probably $6 or $7 less each. So that's going to lock in 1,800, 2,100 US in profits on a down dip. On the other hand, the shares don't do much of a dip. They stay between 93 and 97. But a week or so goes by, and another half a week goes. They're going to drop in value dramatically every week, and you may by next week buy them back for a $6-7 gain, 1,800, 2,100 in your pocket, American money. You buy them back, you'll then sit back, let the stock recover back into the 95 level. You will write 3 or 4 week out contracts again, bringing in yet again $3,700 plus dollars, and look to maybe spend half of it to buy them back. Maybe. That's what you're looking for right now. That's what I'm looking for you to be doing. Okay. Cody, yeah, thanks. Somebody says, so we're looking for Cam. Good morning, but late today. Hey, 343 thumbs up. Thanks, Cam. it advances their retirement and means many more won't retire. The housing market is not a good thing. Again, it's whatever it is, it is. I'm not passing judgment on it. I'm only saying whatever situation you're in, you have to deal with it. And there are families out there who the head of the family, the mom and the dad, were holding it together. They had the two, three kids. They've gone through the financial crisis in '08, got out of it in 10, survived, driving 10-year-old cars now, hanging on. All of a sudden, out of the blue, this variant comes in. Not good, but mom and dad are working from home. The house surges in value unexpectedly. And a year later, they look at each other and go, my God, we got $600,000 equity in our house. We've been making payments on it for 10 years. We bought it for 450 and we now owe, 225 on it, 250 on it. The darn thing's worth 8.5. We got 600,000 equity. We were broke a decade ago. 15 years ago, we were broke. We had those three kids. We were barely getting by. All of a sudden, the kids are going to college, and we can afford to get them into college, get them well on their way. Holy moly macaroni, this is a big change. Now, they may not leave the house. They may stay right where they are, but they have this equity. They're going to rearrange their home equity, and they're going to pay off any small loans they have all over the place and bring their payments down. And this is a lower cost of living in a world they found themselves in. They didn't make it happen; it just happened. Way to go! But if they're older, the kids are at college and they're well into it. Mom and dad might have found that they went from 300,000 equity in their lives to 800,000 equity in their lives. Like, whoa! And they thought they had to work another 15 years to get to that million. And all of a sudden they're figuring in 5 years they'll be at a million, or they're going to be at a million later this year, or they're at a million now for all we know. I don't know. Changes. And some of them, there's a handful of folks who watch me here. They're writing options. They're now writing options on these portfolios that they've had, and they've readjusted to start bringing in income in here. Way to go, man. Yeah, it's exciting. Exciting. I love it. Anyway, you got to deal with the world you're in. Every one of us is different, of course. Where are we at right now? The Dow's down 126. It's better. It's better. GameStop 96.18. It's better. It's coming back. Now you can look at 97, 98s. You can look at writing 99s. If you were thinking of writing 95s, forget about it. Cancel the order and look to write maybe 98s to 100s because the market's up. Write a higher strike price call for that $12, $13 premium. Take in that money. Why not? Might be the way to go here. It's kind of exciting stuff. Anyway, there we go. GameStop. Let's take a look at April's. Of course, my machine is a bit late here, but April 22's writing 100s would bring you as much as 975, but 98s might bring you 1050 to 11. My machine is, I'm a little late, so you might be able to get through 12 up to the 12 range now for more than $12 for 97s, 8s, 9s, and maybe close to 100s. Going out to the last weekend, April 29s, definitely over 12s to 13s maybe could be had here for some of these contracts. 97s, 8s, 9s. You have current quotes. I don't, but yeah. Bring in fat premiums on contracts. Out of the money, a couple of bucks, go 3 weeks out, even 100s if you can, and say, here, you can have my stock for $100 a share for until 29th of April, but you got to give me $12.50 right now. You got to give me $12.95 right now. I want big money, and you're offering them stock at $112, $113. Nice. Shares want to fluctuate between 90 and 100. Good, go, fine. You'll be all right. Anyway, there it is. Cody, I've just talked to so many people who just couldn't be convinced to buy instead of renting, Now these same people are in for some rental hurt here. Rodrigo, is GameStop at 96 a good pickup, or should I wait for a dip to 85? Well, if you're a patient buyer, then you're on the right track. If you're in a hurry, you're going to pay too much. So you may want to wait. You may want to wait for a pullback. Best investment I made was buying my house. I rent my basement for $2,000, which pays for my mortgage and property tax. I'm living free in my own house, and I'm using the line of equity to invest. There you go. There you go. A win-win. Way to go. I know that there are people out there who obviously, like yourself, they bought a house, husband and wife, and they rented the basement out. They fixed it up and rented it out. They're bringing in more money than they ever thought possible from renters. And yeah, the house has gone up in value. The rent is coming in higher. The mortgage is still set at the old rate. It's good times. That is a fast track to retirement wealth building. Absolutely right. Coyote, $2,000 for a basement. That's a wild world. Cheers, says Cody. Sure. Again, depending on the kind of house and how big it is it a walkout? I mean, whatever. It all varies, but sure. Of course, there are people out there that own duplexes. They own like two halves of a house, and they rent one half and they live in the other half. And they originally bought the duplex for $300,000, and they were renting their half, the one half, out for $1,250 a month, and now they're getting $2,000 a month, and it's worth $200,000 more. And a year from now, they might get $2,500 a month for the other half or more. I mean, depending on where this is. Obviously, California could be much, much more expensive than that. Yeah, you're paying off a house you bought 10, 12, 15 years ago at $2,007 dollars in 2022. This is good stuff. Yes, well done. Yeah, it's a walkout facing a ravine, 1,800 square feet. You'd get 2,000 a month for that. Uncle Bruce, I have 10 grand US cash. Shall I buy 100 GameStop or sell a cash secured put on the GameStop? What do you think I should do? Well, if you're going to write a cash secured put, you want to get a fat premium. So you may want to go out a few months in time and look to write, a 100 or something like that, or a 95 or a 90. Shop them out, price them out, see for yourself what put would be the best financially. Because if you only get $1,000 for it, then that's all you can make from it, and you'll likely make about half of that. Ish, you'll make like 500 of the 1,000. Is that worth your risk of 10 grand? On the other hand, if you can bring in a $2,500 premium, and you could score $1,200 to $1,500 on that contract, with the stock holding its own or going higher, then great. Then you've made a 15% return, $1,500 return on a $10,000 investment in 3-4 months. Nice, worth looking at. Anyway, there you go. Smoked dog. That's about the size of my 2-story house, 1,800 feet. Oh my gosh, there you go. So thoughts. There's ways. 96.10 on GameStop. Up 531 right now. We're down 145 on the Dow. We're only down 2 cents on Rocket Lab to 904. SoFi down 23 to 964. These two have climbed back. They're recovering. Matterport is recovering. It's at 820, down only 7 cents. ME is up 3.5 cents. Spire is up 1.5. ATIP is unchanged. SmartRent's up 32 now. That's doing really well. We're up almost 5% to 733 on SmartRent. This is the high of the day range right here. Looking great on 223,000. It's really climbing nicely. Way to go, SmartRent. Sextera down 17 cents. So that SmartRent stock was as low as 554 just a week or two ago. Now we're at 733. So yeah, it's been a significant, really smart turnaround. Nice. I like it a lot. 96.21 on GameStop right now. Okay. Well done, everybody. Well done, all of you. Remember, today is Monday, so I'm on a pile here. This is my second live show already. I did the Trader Alert for Gold Bagel members this morning. Now I've done this show. This has got 6 minutes to go and we're done. I'll be on at 3 o'clock Eastern again on this channel for the final hour of trading, so you can join me for that. Then I'll be on tonight, 7 o'clock Eastern, on Traveling with Bruce for sponsor members only. And then at 8 o'clock Eastern time, Traveling with Bruce, you can join me live over there. Anybody can join me live. Um, the big show. We talk about the travel business every week. I'll be talking about cruise ship travel and other stuff on tonight at 8 o'clock Eastern time on TWB, Traveling with Bruce. So you got nothing better to do and you want to hang out with me all day long, you can. You can hang out with me all day long on Monday. It's incredible how many hours I'm on the air on Mondays. It's crazy. But anyway, love to have you join us. And I'll be talking about our travel plans, Jennifer and I, our travel plans going forward on those shows. So if you want to learn more about that, come on over and say hi and pop in, see what's going on. Yeah, man, cool bean stuff. So exciting. Thank you all for being here. 314 people are here right now watching me live. We have had today 353 thumbs ups today. We're only 47 away from 400 thumbs ups. If any of you out there are able to hit that thumbs up button for us to get us a little closer to 400, I would so appreciate breaking 400 before I go off the air. We need 46 more. I got 354 in. 46 more will get me over 400 thumbs ups. 358 now. That's 42 to go, guys. 2 more just came through here. This is great stuff. Thank you all so much for your support of this channel, however you do it. Thank you again. Oh, another bunch just came in. We're only 38 away. We only need 38 thumbs ups to make this happen. I'm gonna throw some encouragement out there. I'm gonna put some of those neat emojis out there to get this market going even higher. If you guys can hit the thumbs up button while I hit the knee emojis, or join me in the knee emoji attack, let's get this market higher. Neat. We're going higher. 364 thumbs ups. Look at that. 367, 33 to go, and we will have 400 thumbs ups. Thank you guys so much. I'm going to pop in some thumbs up buttons right now. Here we go. Thumbs ups for Bruce. Help Bruce out. Give him thumbs ups. 370 are in. 30 to go, man. This is awesome sauce stuff. Guys, thank you so much for assisting me and getting me up to this 400 thumbs ups level right at the end of this live show. It's incredible. 372 in, 28 to go, man. Munamo, thank you, Munamo. Thank you. And Dustin Dorr. Thanks, Dustin, for those thumbs ups. Coyote, thank you. And Cody, thanks for those thumbs ups, buddy. Appreciate that. 374 are in. 26 thumbs ups left to get. That's all we need for 400 thumbs ups from the greatest viewers YouTube has got. The viewers of this channel. The best. This is the standard. This is the gold standard, the gold bagel standard by which all members of channels are measured by because of the thumbs ups and the support. Frumbler, thanks, buddy. Thank you for this. I appreciate it. I love it. If I come back, it will be as a consultant, says Grad Savage, and if I'm guaranteed to go home once the task is done daily. Thing is, I'm actually really good. I can sometimes finish in half an hour. 1,000 for a half hour is a cool way to make money. What's wrong with that? Nothing. Nicely done, for sure. We have 381 thumbs ups. 19 left to go to get us to 400 thumbs ups. Look at that. Wow. Thank you, guys. This is awesome. Thank you. Man, this is cool. There we go. It's kind of crude, but it says it all. 381 thumbs ups. Look at that. Thank you. 381. Oh, beautiful stuff, guys. Keep them coming. That's great. I appreciate this. This is beautiful, beautiful, beautiful stuff. Oh, I sure hope you have a good afternoon today and join me today at 3 o'clock for the final hour. We'll try to bring this puppy home and keep compounding these returns, and hopefully you guys will just get richer and richer and richer. Wouldn't that be great? We're only down a penny on Rocket Lab now. Look at that. Nice. 6 cents away. Oh, only five away from Matterport breaking even. Look at that. 23 me up 3.5. Spire's up 2. They're coming, man. They're coming. Up 33 on Smart Rent. Only down a nickel on ATIP. 18 cents on Sixterra. Look at these markets coming around. Hey, this is cool bean stuff. I like it. 54.34 on Pfizer. Down 17 cents. We're near the low of the day on that. 54.09 was the low. So, yeah. The Dow trades lower. The Dow trades lower after biggest yearly gain in more than a year, says the headlines. Not complaining really. We're doing okay here on this market. Down 135 right now. This is not a bloodbath. We're up 8.7 on S&P and we're up 6.1 on Nasdaq. So oil is hanging around 110, up 554. Okay. All right. Interesting stuff. Thank you all. 381 thumbs ups. Thank you guys. Thank you. All right. Well, there it is. I will see you this afternoon at 3 o'clock Eastern time. It's time for me to get a little rest and see how Auntie Jen is doing and making sure everything is good. Thank you all for your support today and kind words. It's great to spend some time with you as always. And Chris ever says, and if I do this is because now I know I don't have to work since the cover call premiums my wife and I write offset the fact that I now stay home as a house husband and just take care of the kitties and clean poop. There you go, man. This sure beats shovel and poop at the office, I have to think. What can I say? Alberta says, I'm here now. You can begin, Bruce. Thank you, buddy. Thank you, Uncle Bruce, folks. Buy those classes. They truly pay for themselves. I think so. I think that's right. 12 classes for your enjoyment. Number 13 to come shortly. Yeah, get smarter than anybody else out there. Join the less than 10% of the people out there that actually write contracts and be one of the smarter writers. And oh, do the dollars come flowing to you. They hand it over. They just give it to you. They just give you the money. It's amazing how they do that. It's absolutely incredible. Yeah, it's just trade after trade can be so lucrative to your account. Fabulous, kids. Fabulous. All right, kids, I got to get going. We're down 2 on Rocket Lab. We're down 22 on SoFi. GameStop 97 dollars roughly here, 96.90, 97 bucks, up 6 some odd dollars. Make your move on writing options today. Take some positions out there and bring in some cash, and let's see what happens next. Yeah, let's gonna kind of go from there, everybody. Okay, guys. Thank you. Yes, that's true. Uncle Savage. Even after you've watched those classes once or twice, go back and rewatch them. You'll be surprised how much you've missed. Take notes, make money. There you go. There's. I dare say, I think there are some pretty good tips in there for you to make money in this option market. Real money. So yeah, get your fair share, kids. Cody, thank you. You take care. Afternoon, many returns. Good luck, everybody. You bet, Cody. We'll catch you later, hopefully today. All right, guys. I'll see you guys a little later at 3 this afternoon. In the meantime, you take care. This is Bruce from Calgary signing off. We'll talk to you real soon. Bye for now.